Welcome to Dogs Keki, not in Iran. Osashiburi.
お久しぶり。
の時は
なんだ？
新しい世界がある。
ああ、そうなんですか。
Fuck, you know, I clicked the wrong one.
Konnichiwa, friends.
Konnichiwa, minasan. I clicked the long version, and I forget that the long version has like dead silence afterwards. We'll talk to Sean about maybe getting that edited.
Whoops.
Minasan, konnichiwa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk to Keki. We had a quick little week off due to my co-host here, my co-high, having surprise families.
I'm always busy, dude. Like I always have something planned every weekend. And then I fall behind because fucking Saturday and Sundays are fucking
the heavy hitters. Yeah,
I know, dude. Couldn't be Friday, right? I have nothing to do on Fridays.
Yeah, and I gotta work this Sunday, so that'll be fun.
That sucks, docs. Dicks.
Yeah, I tried volunteering to work Friday, but they're like, "What's wrong with Sunday?" It's like,
everything is wrong with Sunday.
I shouldn't be. I didn't do this in any office, but I have to here because you're understaffed.
And you are the noob.
Yeah. It's like, it's Sunday once a month, but I didn't want to do it during Christmas.
No one wants to fucking do that.
Yeah, because I want my Christmas cards if I get any.
That is true.
Yeah, so it's like I'd rather do my own stuff. I don't want anyone else touching my stuff.
That is fair.
But no, we got a lot. Thankfully, we had this week off because I was able to watch Stone Ocean, which I won't talk about till you're done.
I haven't even started it, dude. And I've remembered like literally this week, and I was like, I gotta still watch fucking JoJo. Oh,
it was solid stuff. I will say that.
Solid 4.
Like 4.25.
Okay, it gives me some
manga wise. I have some complaints.
Okay, I can't wait to hear them.
But yeah, so
I'm a non-manga reader, so you know it'll be easy for me to be like, it's a 5. It's fucking brilliant. But
no, with the stuff that they did, it was nice. I'd like to call back to the ending.
Call back to the ending of what?
Oh, they played the old roundabout.
Ah, okay. I thought you meant like a call back to old. And I'm like, what?
No. They played roundabout at the end. So that was always.
Are we gonna get a Giorno sighting? Or are we gonna get a what's his face?
No, Josuke. No.
Josuke. Yeah. No.
Boo. If that happened, if they showed up, this part 6 would have been a lot different. But the fact that they didn't,
you know, it's crazy. Like so you're caught up completely on JoJo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and they don't show up at all whatsoever, right?
No.
Okay, so I feel like at the end, like they're gonna like have like the spirits of all the JoJos,
the most powerful
final fight against like all the spirits of Dios or whatever.
Yeah, the most powerful stand with the Golden Requiem. No.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Because
so
because if he showed up, that would have been over.
So OP.
It is incredibly OP.
Fucking plot, bro. Anyway,
I had a show done. I watched 2 penultimates before we got on the air.
I'm very surprised. Side note that we have no like live viewers since we've been on 4 minutes. Like, have we chased our audience completely away now at this stage?
Well, we didn't tag everyone.
Well, we didn't tag him. No, but regardless, we're on fucking every channel known to man. We're on all of the W2M channels right now. So
yeah, I still gotta make that poll saying who wants to be tagged when we go live.
No one, because nobody gives a shit about us, despite the fact we do this for the group. But we care about all of you guys that listen.
Well, none of their fucking business.
And he lost connection. Here we go. Matt's shitty internet is back. God damn it. And you know what's crazy? As I fill this time right now, is that my other podcast host, Andy, shout out to my boy Andy at MMA for Marks, also on W2M Network. Thank you, Sean. He also has Starlink like Matt. And this never happens with any other like broadcast or not any other broadband company that provides internet. It literally only happens with Starlink. And I don't understand why. I feel like there might be some sort of disparity between StreamYard and Starlink that may cause problems. Like that's gotta be it, right? Like I can't think of any other reason why that's not the case. Can't think of one legitimately. So god damn it, Matt. God damn it. And what is he writing me, guys? We'll let you know. Let's see what he says. Can't blame his cats. Can't blame his new cats on this. We both got kicked out. No, motherfucker. You're the only one that got kicked out. I was just informing the users. My boy Andy at the MMA for Marks podcast. Again, cheap plug. Shout out to my boy Sean. Shout out to Andy, MMA for Marks. Catch us on. Anyway, he also has Starlink in California. Or no, he doesn't have Starlink yet. I'm sorry, he doesn't have Starlink yet. I lied. Sorry, I lied, guys. He's gonna get Starlink, but he lives in the fucking mountains. Like you live in the middle of nowhere. He lives in the mountains in California, in the fucking boonies there.
Yeah.
So he's also just drop. I'm like, bro. And I was like, there's gotta be some sort of disparity between like StreamYard and Starlink. Because there's no storms, right? There's no fucking blizzard
everything's clear, and we were fine for
bro.
Forever.
I can't wait till we record one day when there's a blizzard up there.
No, that's not gonna happen. No, there's a storm. I'm gonna say, yeah, let's just do it the next day. But yeah, no, I came back in, and you didn't show up on my end.
Nope, I'm.
No, it was weird. Like it was just me on the screen, not you.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like I said, we still don't have any live viewers. That's so odd. I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah, I'm checking now. My download speed's 157 and uploads 2.35. I'm okay. It's not great, but
that's so odd. I don't know.
All right, okay.
So let's jump into the news.
Yeah, let's just get to it. And if I get kicked out, just keep talking.
Blah 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 blah.
Like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Let's do it. All right, quick news. Gene of AI is got an anime adaptation. A sci-fi psychological drama. So I did see the trailer for it. It did look interesting. So
okay. No date yet?
No date yet. I'm gonna assume spring, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
You know how these things go.
Sounds potential. Sounds like potential to me.
Yeah. Broadcast of Fate / Strange Fake Whispers of Dawn is postponed. People who are into the Fate series, even though no one will ever tell me the correct order to watch it in. It's like all over the fucking place.
So Fate is one of those that's been around for a long time. Like you've seen a couple, I imagine.
I saw one spinoff, and I didn't know it was Fate until I saw the first episode.
Okay.
As I thought it was like a detective type thing, but no, it's that I saw Saber in the flashback. Oh, it's a Fate series, and that I just somehow came across. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we got 2 viewers. Hello.
Konnichiwa.
All right. The manga 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is getting a TV anime.
Sounds etchy.
It is etchy.
Ow.
Yeah. I have no interest in real girls, so claims Okumura, the president of the school's manga club.
Jesus.
He's your typical otaku, obsessed with a sexy fictional 2D manga character known as Lilio. Then the new school year starts a real 3D girl named Licia, whose passion is cosplay, joins the club. Licia convinces Okumura to become her photographer. And guess who her favorite manga character is? Not only that, but Licia is into modeling the feisty stuff. The boundaries between 2D and 3D start to blur as his hot-blooded romantic comedy unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in love with a VTuber, and he meets the person behind the camera.
Okay, I was gonna say, because if he's just in love with the VTuber and it's just a VTuber, like VR or whatever, like that sounds super fucking lame.
No, I guess it's like a something for My Dress Up Darling in a way, but mixed with 2D.
We'll see.
We'll see. Light novel. I'm in love with the Villainess. is getting a TV adaptation.
Okay.
It's Yuri.
Yes.
It is a Yuri.
Yes.
This one girl is simping for the Villainess.
You know, I don't really like tropes like that, but the fact that it's a Yuri, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Annie song singer Ichiro Mizuki passed away at 74 on December 6th due to lung cancer. Yeah, not fun.
It's so interesting how that like generation and like even in Japan, a lot of people still smoke in Japan. It's quite
Oh yeah, they're like heavy chain smokers.
Yeah, it's so wild.
It is wild, but condolences to his friends.
In Asia in general, like it was funny. I was reading one of my Korean pornhwas. It's a manhwa, but it's hentai, so I call it a pornhwa. I was reading one of my pornhwas, and the guy catches his wife cheating, and he just stands outside of like the door while she's getting fucked. She comes out the door trying to sneak out, and like you see, like, oh, did you have fun? And like you see the ground, there's literally 30 cigarettes in like an hour, like 2 hours. He like smoked like 30 cigarettes.
Oh my god!
Like it's like cancer, bro. Straight up.
Oh my god. Manga Megubi no Daigo. Kyoko no Orange is a TV anime. There's no English title, just that.
You know, when you try to read Japanese, you sound like the black guy from Bleach from the last episode. That's what you sound like.
I'll take it. I will take it. Wonderful. Alrighty, we're almost done. Light novel Unnamed Memory gets a TV anime for 23. Looks like a...
I think I saw that one. There was one of them that I was like, oh, that seems curious. And I forgot to click on the article, and when I refreshed, it was gone. But
would you like the synopsis?
Why not?
My wish as champion is for you to descend the tower and be my wife. Climbing the deadly tower, Oscar seeks power of its master, the Witch of the Azure Moon. He hopes her incredible magic can break a curse that will kill any woman he takes for a wife. When the prince sees how beautiful Tanasha is, though he has a better idea, since she's surely strong enough to survive his curse, she should just marry him instead. Tanasha isn't keen on the idea, but agrees to live with Oscar in the royal castle for a year while researching the spell placed on the prince. The witch's pretty face hides several lifetimes of dark secrets, however, secrets that begin resurfacing.
I don't know. That sounds like one that you'll probably watch and try and talk me into.
Probably. We'll see.
All right.
And finally, Hayao Miyazaki is getting his next movie.
Yes.
How Do You Live?
Have you seen the drawing? There was like a drawing of.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's a beautiful drawing.
Yeah, it's his. Yeah, this is last one. It was like 6 years ago.
Bro, it's crazy that like when he passes away, he's the Spielberg of anime, basically, when you think about it.
Agreed.
So it's like that'll be such a heavy loss for the world.
Oh yeah, the world will be mourning. But it comes out in Japan July 24th, 2023.
You get it? You said the world will be mourning, and I was like, oh, when will they be afternoon?
Oh,
boom!
What is the evening? I guess.
I need Sean and I need fucking Starman and his little board.
Maybe if I work enough hours, I could probably invest in one.
I can afford one, but I'm just like, why?
I think it'd be fun for me to have, but we'll see.
It will be fun for us to have. Ah, shit.
I mean, we can add our own stuff. We can add that on. No, we can add. No, we got the wow. Or that or that fucking Anya thing. Waka waka shitika. Like, yeah, good job.
Wow.
I don't know why. It was just funny. Like ever since Sean showed me that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's look at just the clip. Like, yeah, he's just mumbling, and then Lloyd's just like, good job. I get it.
That's typical children. Yeah. Like, yeah.
It's awesome. Like, good job. Good, very good.
That's my baby. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no. Should we get to reviews?
Yeah. Let's get to them.
All right. It is your turn.
It is always my turn. Peter Grill is pretty lame at this stage, quite honestly. I don't even want to talk about Peter Grill. I gave it 2
Like,
stars.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't even
Just,
want to
just,
talk about Peter
just
Grill.
say, who does he fuck? That's all you need to tell us.
The latest episode, he fucks. He has to fuck. He's not fucked her yet, but he basically. All right, so I can break this down. So basically, they had like this whole Elven arc where he has to like fucking basically mediate between the two like elf like things, and they fuck him at the end. Cool.
Cool.
The latest episode is probably might be one of the better parts of this season. Is basically the what's his face the guildmaster who is Lavilia's father. He's like, I want to break up that fucking bastard Peter Grill and my daughter. I'm gonna break him up. So what he does is he sends Peter Grill on like a diplomatic mission, basically to go perform a peace treaty with the what's it called, with the dwarfen village. And as part of this peace treaty that's been going on for several centuries, it is legitimate. You basically have to take this mythical sword that the empire has as kind of like an heirloom, and you have to slice a like glass like a replica of a cicada, and the cicada is like some legendary beast that would plague the elven or the dwarfen village before the kingdom came and saved them one day, and that's how they negotiated the peace treaty when they saved them. Anyway, he basically the guildmaster rigged the sword and like rigged it to be really brittle, and while Peter's practicing, the sword breaks and he's like, oh my god, I'm fucked, the sword broke, like what am I gonna do? So his homie is like, hey, why don't you go early to the dwarven village, because it's gonna require some sort of special synthesis that no man can do nowadays. It's a lost art, but they might be able to do it. So he starts asking around the village, nobody can do it, and then somebody toward the end is like, hey, I think the daughter of the head what's it called, blacksmith, can do it. And the daughter is like this really bratty girl, like she looks like a lolly, she's 32, kind of lolly, and she loves to research and she hates manual labor, like she's like kind of into science and shit like that. Think of her as like a knockoff Senku. So they meet, and she's like, oh, Peter Grill, I'll be happy to fix your sword, but I need your sperm. And he's like, what the fuck does everybody want my fucking sperm for? And she's like, no, I need your sperm. And he drops the fucking connection again. God damn it, Matt. Anyway, they want the sperm for the for this like special robot or some shit. And so he basically God damn it, Matt. Come on.
Just ignore that.
I know. So she basically, in order to get the sperm out, she brings out a sex robot. Sex robot is quite disgusting looking, and it starts chasing Peter around. Ends up chasing Peter next to a sex dungeon where everything, if you get locked in the dungeon, the only way to get out is to fuck. And so basically Peter fucks up the sex robot goes haywire, chases the girl into the sex dungeon. They have this mythical role. She ends up on top of him in the bed in the sex dungeon. Dungeon closes. End episode. It's a 2 out of 5. This whole series is a 2 out of 5. It's a complete waste of my time, but it's a guilty pleasure. Boruto, on the other hand, though, this season, outside of like the bullshit end of like the whatever arc with Kawaki, them doing like their knockoff on Squid Games has been thoroughly entertaining. I am thoroughly entertained by Boruto this season. So basically, as we mentioned, Squid Games is still going on. Lots more people are dead. They're going through the various challenges, and they find out that one of the guys that's remaining, one of the few guys, we find out through what's it called, through him being a little shady, as well as Sarada and Kawaki going through the Hidden Leaf like criminal database. He's an outer of Kara, and that's a really interesting facet of that. And so they're trying to basically try and find this like lab that everybody's being like confined to, and along the way they see various traps and things of that nature, but they're hot on the tail basically of this villain. His name is Ogun. Ogun's the villain slash scientist that's doing all these experiments. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's typical Boruto stuff where basically, you know, we have to band together and together we're going to escape this and all of this, you know, like that's cool. But there's a lot of death, like I said, which is, you know, rare in Boruto. Lots of people are dying, and Boruto is doing his best to survive and everything else. He ends up beating one of the villains, and the villain is like, hey, here's my cards, you know, I deserve to die. And he's like, no, you don't deserve to die. He's like, all right, well, I'll let you in the secret since you're not going to kill me. I didn't kill those people that you found dead. And so we find out that it was the outer that killed those people because they stole a communication device from him. because they thought that he was a traitor and was working with Oga. They don't know that he's an outer, and he was trying to talk to Code, who's the remaining person from Kara. So I think with this series, when it concludes, it's going to lead into more manga stuff, which is great, because if you have been paying attention to the Boruto manga, Code is a motherfucker. He is a motherfucker. And so I'm very much looking forward to that. But this little fucking filler arc is actually one of the better filler arcs they've done, because not only because it's a knockoff on Squid Games, but because, you know, it brings you back to life or death circumstances. And it's unique in terms of what Boruto normally is, even though it's still, you know, is the typical Naruto band together, unity and such. So thoroughly enjoying that. And I'm done.
All right, very good. I got the penultimate of Reincarnated as a Sword.
All right.
Before that, though, I'm gonna go. They're at a dungeon. It has spiders this time, but in this dungeon there's traps. So because of this, Fran stepped on one of them, and it was a teleportation trap. So now she's separated from the sword. So Fran is with like two other random people, and then Shisho is separated with Amanda and another one of the crew. And of course, the one where Fran's in is a giant spider boss that sets booby traps everywhere, shoots poison darts at him, and just like she's just getting stabbed with poison needles. So, and she can't do anything without the sword.
Of course not.
Because the sword's is the one with all the skills.
Yep, because she's useless.
But not yet. Hold on.
No.
So Shisho's freaking out. It's like, what to do. He's going through his whole entire skill list, and he does a summon thing. So because of this, also he reveals himself as like his own sentient, that he's sentient as the sentient sword right in front of Amanda. She's like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, nah, I can't explain right now. I gotta go help her. I gotta go help find Fran. And then he uses the summon spell. He summons this wolf, and it's gone crazy right away. So apparently, to calm it down, you have to give it a name to bond with it. So he named it Jets because again he was in a hurry, and because this wolf is he's ready to go, ready to listen, and starts tracking Fran down. On the other hand, Fran's getting weak, and she starts fighting on her own. Like she's like, I don't have a sword, but I got these fucking hands. Let's go. Starts like punching these spiders, kicking the eggs, and she's about to go attack this boss. But eventually, the sword, he's glowing fire, shots through, stabs the spider queen. Didn't kill her. This guy really like cut her by the side. The spider retreats for now. They reunite, talk about how he's proud of her for fighting on her, even though she was on her own, basically. And Amanda's like, "You explain now with the sword." And she's just considered an intelligent weapon, and she's never seen one before, so she gets all excited about it. Everyone regroups for now, and then they hear the spider bitch screaming at the top of her lungs. And the episode ends with this giant white owl just descending down. I don't know if it's a summon or what's the stitch. What's good?
Have you tried to look at what that would mean? Hey Google, what's the significance of a white owl?
On the website thebirdguide.com, they say the white owl represents good luck. Do you want a little more context?
No, thank you. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Very, very good.
Thank you, Google.
All right, but I got one more episode on Wednesday next week. Even though it's already done, we just get a week late.
Right.
So I might just find online or just wait. Alrighty, Bibliophile Princess. I had to pay attention more to see what the fuck was going on, and I know what happened. What happened basically? Christopher's original fiance is back in the picture, and because of this, they want Eliana out. So everyone on this fiance side is like, hey, you should leave. Like the Bernstein name is a burden. You can go fuck off. Like this little girl Sharon is the one that's telling Eliana this. Like, hey, just leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck you. Like, even though like Christopher made his choice of wanting to marry Eliana, he made that very clear in the second episode. If anyone objects, fight me right now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
While all these people were conspiring to get her out, because they weren't meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fuck that.
You're right in the pussy.
Yeah, and Eliana does not want this. And she's been trying to talk to Christopher. Christopher's been like, I'm busy, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like that he wants her attention. Like Eliana, you're here. I missed you. Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now she doesn't want that affection right now because she wants to like talk. Like, do you want this type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where she just blurted out, "We should hold off on the wedding," in front of Christopher and his friends.
Right.
And he's like, just calm the fuck down.
Hold your fucking horses.
It's like let's discuss this later. Like, let's talk about it later. And then she doesn't go to that banquet. She runs outside crying. One of the maids was comforting her. They see Christopher following her. And then the maid just steps in between the middle, like, she ain't talking to you right now. Like a crying woman and a man getting angry. No, you ain't talking to her. And he's like, this is none of your concern right now.
Facts.
Yeah, and then Eliana, as she starts speaks the episode, and it's like, God damn it!
Mm-hmm.
So I have to wait another week I will have to wait tomorrow for that.
Exciting.
I got 2 more episodes. Yeah, it's like, God damn. So I was like, all right, good. This is good.
Good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal. All right, Blue Lock.
Oh, good.
This fucking soccer game.
Hey, we should talk about the Japanese soccer.
Yeah, they choked
around the 16. They did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they made it to round 16. They choked during the penalty.
Yep.
It was like 3-1 with the penalty kicks.
No bueno.
No bueno indeed. And you know what? They tried. So we will give them that. Hopefully in 4 years. Maybe. Okay, I thought I got kicked out again.
No, I was looking up because you know why? We normally record on Thursdays, so I'm like, let me put on the football game while we're recording, not realizing it's Wednesday and not Thursday.
But no, we got the next soccer game. You know where we left off with fucking Nagi just getting the goal right away, like the first minute.
Yep.
Then it got to goal 2, then goal 3.
Cool.
And one of the guys in Team Z, he's just not doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he betrayed them and he betrayed the crew in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyon, he's just standing there because he knows, hey, if my team loses, I'm still getting in. Like, I'm still getting in because I scored 3 goals. I have a good average, unlike all of you. So I'm safe. So I don't have to help you.
Son of a bitch.
Yes, he's a very selfish son of a fucking bitch. But yeah, they got the 3 points, and then Bachira, he's like, "This is fun." Like he's getting excited now, and then he scores the first goal for the team. Basically says, since they know our strategies, just basically whatever positions you're not comfortable in, fucking do it.
Hey, positions you're comfortable in.
like fucking Inosuke, he's now on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I call him Inosuke because the same voice actors.
Oh,
but his actual name is Jingo. Like he's like even
Oi, Tanjiko! Oh.
Yeah, he sounds like that. He acts like that. So if you lose for us, he says, if you lose for us, I will kill you. That type of thing. He will say shit like that. Like it's fucking Inosuke. Yeah, now he's on defense. Basically, the episode last week was it's now a tie game.
Mm-hmm.
Not that much time left.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the selfish guy, he's still not doing anything, even though it's still 10-11. And then this fucking guy Nagi, he starts getting serious finally
Mm-hmm.
because he sees his friend getting like frustrated, pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, and then he scores a goal. It's 4-3 now.
Mm.
So now they have to get another goal. They eventually do, and there's 3 minutes left.
It sounds like how they got into the world, how they got to the round of 16 in a way, right?
Yeah,
A little bit.
it's just about There's 3 minutes left, so Nagi has the ball. So it's like shit.
Nagi
And
brick.
Yep, and fucking Isagi, he can't catch up to him. Like he had a plan to try to get around him, but no, he turned it around.
Mm-hmm.
And this selfish guy, he tackles Nagi just to get a red card. So he's out of the game, but basically he basically bought them time. Because if he kicked the ball, it would have been it. Game over.
Yeah.
So basically he saved them for that. And then you get a little flashback of him. Like he was very happy with soccer. Like he had a group of friends that he played soccer with. But the fact that he was too serious about it, they're like, this is not fun anymore.
Oh God.
It's
That
not
type of
fun
thing.
anymore.
No, it's just like, dude, you're like, we're playing for fun. Like what the fuck? Like, yeah, we lost, big deal. We try again. We try harder. There's always next time. He's like, no, it's not good enough.
It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then basically, it's time for the penalty kick.
Mhm.
They were figuring out who this guy was going to pass it to. Like, was he going to pass it to Nagi or the not intelligent guy? But no, he kicks it to the goal himself, but the goalie just catches it.
Yeah.
Like hand out, like just in time. And the fast guy, he charges it head on to kick the ball, but no, the Inosuke just kicks the ball out of the way just in time. Like he's he slid.
Mm-hmm.
And now Isagi has it. Credits. That's it for that one. Again, very good game. I'm happy with it. Moving on. Do it yourself.
Yay! I like this. I like
This
this.
is we also had a penultimate of this, but before that, we picked up where we left off. Someone took all the stuff they took all the supplies that they saved up for. So the crew, they're all upset about it, obviously, because again, they worked so hard on saving up money and all this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all like, let's just go home for right now. Serafu, she's like speechless, hasn't said anything during the club meeting, the walk home. Jabako, she goes to Miko's house. And she says, Jabako.
Jabako.
Yes. And then, she tells Miko what happened. So Miko, the tsundere, who's like, fuck you, you're my childhood friend, to Serafu, she goes over to the house, tries to comfort her, like cheer her up, that type of thing. And they find out Serafu passed out all because she was daydreaming. Basically, she's optimistic. She's like, wait, how did I get home? Magic. Like you walked home. Like you walked home. Like I did. Shit.
Wow, that's some crazy drugs. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you thinking? And that must have been a hardcore La La Land dream there. But no, basically, yeah, she's daydreaming about they're gonna find supplies again. They're gonna start back from where they were. And they all had that same idea the next day. Like it just sucked that time, but yeah, they're up, they're focused. They even put up flyers like they're like, hey, if anyone has supplies or anything, like please let us know. Like we'll pick it up.
Please help.
Pretty much, yeah. And the teacher that was guiding them, Haruko, she has like this like giant truck of like stuff and like, hey, like how do you this is like why are you always helping us? And you find out that the teacher had the DIY club at that school when she was a student.
Mm-hmm. And he dropped. Oh boy. It's one of those episodes. I tell you what. One of those episodes.
One of those episodes again, motherfucker. So anyway, that was that episode last week, and now we're on the penultimate, and they are finally starting to build a tree house. They got the tree bolt thing, the tab.
Mm.
Bolt. I actually looked those up as I was watching the episode. Those were expensive. They're like $140 per screw.
The fuck?
Yeah, because it connects to the tree. To keep it balanced, to keep it's like a foundation for a treehouse.
Naruhodo.
Yeah, so they got two of those like they needed. Basically, what do you call it? Ray's mom and dad, who own like the lumber shop and all this, they helped set that up for them at least. And then also before that though, as they got all the supplies again, Miku, who's from the other school, she finally joins the group. She finally joins the club as an honorary member at the Serafu. It's like, hey, please join us. It'd be fun. Like, you helped us out, so you may as well build this with us. Do it together, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's finally in the group officially. Huzzahs! And then basically this whole episode was just the construction of the treehouse. And
as you finagle with your headset.
Yes, as I finagle in my headset because I didn't want to go on all the way. But
fat head. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's just long hair. I need a fucking barber.
You don't have a barber over there, dude? Really?
I got somewhere. I just don't know the fucking hours. It's like by the time I get home, they're probably closed.
You can't go at fucking 4 a.m. either.
Nope. So yeah, I might just have to buzz a little bit. Just get it out of the way. But yeah, that will never happen. Happened once on accident, and I hated it.
Really?
Because my barber was just fucking high.
Oh yeah, he must have been high as a fucking kite then, eh?
Oh, he was. Yeah. I said I wanted it. Like I wanted it too. The buzz.
Yeah, well, that's not a buzz. 2's not a buzz, but
I said like I wanted I wanted it trimmed basically. I wanted it cleaned up.
Sure.
He's what. Zoom. I was just like,
that's not what I want. That's what you got.
Yeah, basically. I didn't tip him. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, for real, dude. I wouldn't either. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. Like, I don't want this guy again.
That's why you be a barber. You stick with him, buddy.
No, but yeah, this was in Shirley. Like, it was like a barbershop. There's a few people, and he was the only guy. And I had no issue with him the other time. Even though actually no, he just sucks because he was always high. It's either you're bald or the hair's crooked. There's no gray area. So
you need a Spanish you need a Spanish barber.
I'll say, well, he was black, but
yeah, you know something? I've only done one black barber. Pause. Let me phrase that. I've only had one black barber do my hair, and it was the worst haircut I've ever gotten. And I was like, I'll never do another black barber. No disrespect, no racial shit. Just I don't trust a black barber with my hair. So now
that was what happened. Yeah,
Spanish
now it's got the then. Adele Venas had the mid-aged white woman.
Nah. Okay, Karen.
She wasn't a Karen, but she was nice. But basically the treehouse coming along nicely. The walls are up.
Where is this treehouse?
Next to on school grounds, like next to the old school shed, where they were having the clubhouse.
Is that legal? It's anime. Okay.
If they're an official club, yeah.
All right, we'll go with it.
Yeah, no one said anything. It's been months since the whole club started, so
we'll go with it.
So basically, they don't have enough lumber for the roof, so they basically just took apart the old shed just to get some of the lumber. They have enough of the roof now, and before they do that, credits.
End credits. Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
I was like, okay. Let me make sure I have.
Dude, speaking of freaking what's it called? Your like slice of life wholesome animes. I really love that slow loop connection that you showed me in regards to Bochi.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't realize it. Then I actually looked at the clip like, oh shit, that is them. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, man.
So that's awesome. The fact that I saw both of them, like, that makes me happy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
All right, now for the last one, which is my finale. I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss.
All right, and you've been mid on this for most of the season.
it's just good. Like there's nothing great about it.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's nothing spectacular, but I don't regret watching it.
Okay.
I'll get to the pros and cons after.
All right.
But basically, this is gonna be a two-parter. Obviously, after Eileen basically got told to fuck off by the amnesia Claude,
Mm-hmm.
Levy, the one that's working with the villain, the main antagonist,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a way to get Claude back and all this, but basically, you gotta treat him like shit. Like I want you to treat him like shit in front of everyone." And this was before the fact that Claude actually felt bad for making Eileen cry. Like he was talking to his devil subordinates. It's like maybe I should actually take her to the ball.
Maybe that would be useful.
Yeah. So he doesn't have his memory back, but it's just more of
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. But basically, then they went to Eileen's place. They sent her the dress. Like, guess what? You're going to the ball. Like, what? Yeah, here's your dress. Here you go. Like, what the fuck? Eh?
All right. I guess I have so much for staying in and watching fucking movie there.
Yeah, basically. And during the ball, Claude was telling Eileen, like, I love you and all this.
Aww.
Even though it was like, he's not fully, there's like no full memory yet. But
where's their kid?
They had no kids.
They had the kid early in the year, in the season.
No.
At least they had like a devil kid.
No.
Didn't you say they were like taking care of a child at some point?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a child. Maybe a different show, but
well, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, there's no child here. Levy, of course, butts in the middle of Claude and Eileen, saying, "Oh yeah, Eileen had this affair and all this shit." Basically, it's, "Hey, I have one of the demons in prison. If you don't lie to him, I'm gonna go kill it."
Mm.
So yeah, it's this Raven Almond. So Eileen was playing the character. But Almond, he jumps in the middle of them, like, no, like Claude, don't listen to her. He's lying. This is what really happened, and the bird got shot. So Claude is like freaking out. All this, like, it kind of triggered something in him. He's like half memory type of thing, but he teleported out of there. And of course, the fucking villain, Lilia, she meets him and erases his memory again, but puts him in a coma with the demon instance. So he's knocked out. He's unconscious.
Sweep.
Eileen's in jail. And so is the other guy, that one that told him to betray them. And that was the penultimate. Now we're in the finale.
Okay.
Eileen eventually escapes. Levy asks for forgiveness. And he has a spell in his eye, like a crystal in his eye, that could reduce the spell that Claude's in. So he like rips his eye out to give it to her with the gem.
Okay, fucking Naruto and Sasuke and fucking Keki and them.
Yeah, man, basically. So basically, Eileen and Levy, they go to the castle. Lilia's there. Lilia and Eileen fight. They have this sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
First, Eileen wins. Again, for now, as Levy goes for the thing to get to the door, to get to Claude. But now Eileen's losing. And Claude is back. He has his memories there. He's pissed. And they arrest, like you're under arrest for trying to kill me and all those other people.
How dare you?
And then Lydia's like, who is going to believe you? And then fucking Claude's brother, the dick from earlier, Cedric, he's like, oh yeah, she totally did it. So I was like, whoop whoop. So so now Cedric and Lilia are in jail, living their happy together lives in jail. And Eileen and Claude, they have their wedding. And it's a happy ending.
So that's the end of the series.
That's it.
All right.
The pros are I like how it's animated. I like the characters. I love Eileen. Claude is fun. I like the chemistry between them. The downsides were wherever like the last episode of the arcs of these little 3-parters, they're quick. Like they feel rushed. So that was an issue for me. It's a very weak 3.5.
So
Like
just
a free
3.25.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just 3.25.
Yeah, it's a 3.25.
All right.
All right, let's do togetherness. It's togetherness.
Yes, let us join together.
All right, let's go with Love Flops.
Love Flops is definitely it isn't going the way we thought it, for sure.
No, but it's not bad.
It's not. It's unique. Honestly, I've never seen that before.
No, yeah. Yeah, basically we picked up where he left off with fucking what's his name?
What's his nuts?
What's his nuts? Asahi. Yeah, he's in his room. He's all basically he's recollecting everything that he just heard, like how his life is a lie. Yep. All those few months was nothing. It was just a day.
Yep. Well, no, you didn't explain how it cut off, and then if it went to freaking he woke up the next day like normal.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that. So he wakes up the next day like normal. Whatever. His mom, there's no girls in the house, but his mom is there.
No, we talked about that. We talked about that last time. Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. Well then,
we didn't talk about last week's.
Everything fucking just like bleeds into shit nowadays. I feel like I've been so behind.
Yeah, and now this scientist is at Asahi's house, and she's explaining what's going on. Like, hey, Aoi is fucking up everything.
Yep.
In this metaverse type shit, like no one is relying on their AIs, basically.
Yep.
Like powers are off. AIs are disappearing.
The world is ending.
Basically, because without technology and AIs, everyone is useless.
And I honest to God, I really love how that speaks to like the way tech is going, where without like internet, for example, like my house is super internet powered. So freaking like if the internet goes out, a lot of my shit goes out in my house. So it's pretty wild when you really think about it. It makes sense.
Right. Yeah, right. And as all that's going on, and it's like basically she's trying to convince Asahi to basically come back with me so we can go back into that world. And like, why the fuck would I do that? Basically,
yeah. Why would I re-torture myself?
All that, and it's just first, Feniman, is that her name, or Yoshino?
Yoshino, yeah, Yoshino.
Yeah, so basically, now we get the other girls. They want to talk to Asahi.
Yeah, so they hack the freaking and there's another key. If you remember the flashback from the previous episode, if you remember Asahi in the like living room or whatever her room was, that alarm clock is Ai's alarm clock.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah, that's Ai's alarm clock. And so they basically hack Ai's alarm clock and they're able to project themselves. At first they project themselves, they look like little Minecraft characters. That was funny. But then they're like,
the fucking polygon shit is like,
you're very poly right now. They're like, huh? And like, oh my god, you look so ugly.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So Amelia was like, oh, hold on, I'll fix it. And now they're all back to their normal selves. Asahi is overwhelmed with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're talking about Aoi, like, yeah, she's a little out of control right now. It's like, we need you to come back. You have to. Basically, after we disappeared, we don't want it to end like that with you. They all want it. They all want the deck. They want the banana. They want the fried banana.
Uh-huh.
So this kind of he has a lot to think about now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh shit, we gotta go type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they disappear for now. And Yoshino's like, come with me or not? And then
he's like, I gotta think about it.
And she's like, well, fuck you then. Like, right? Like that this has to happen now. So
and he thinks about the world in 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. And then as she's about to get on her bike, he's like, oh, wait, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, because he gets that flashback. He gets another flashback of him and I, And it's actually a pretty poignant flashback because they talk about how he asked I, like, because I's mother's already been passed, and her dad isn't around nearly as much as she'd like probably, and so she's like, I have a question, because I guess they went on like her like death anniversary day, they were hanging out, and she's like, he asked I, if you had the power to see someone that's passed away, would you take it? And she goes, no, I wouldn't take that, because then I'd want to see them again and again and again,
Right.
and I wouldn't be able to. And it's a very powerful statement. But
Yeah.
Asahi in this circumstance is like, well, I already saw the dead person that I, had blocked off for so long. And now I guess now I have to see her again and again and again in some capacity. So
Yeah.
it's a very nice little, like, thought process that he had there before he's like, all right, I'm going to go save the world and save the girls, because I have no real girlfriends. I need to save the virtual ones.
Well, and basically, I mostly.
Yeah, because
she is Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her brain. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's mostly for her. So he gets on.
Yeah.
They're in like a secret hideout.
No, not a secret hideout. So as part of the flashbacks, they're at like a house. We find out that the house that they were at was a beach house. We find out that I's father, when he quit the company after I died, he sold their normal house that was in the city, and then he just went to the other beach house, and he just confined himself in a secret room. So then they go into the secret room, and it's basically like a mini laboratory that he set up, including an AI table basically as well.
Right. And then he lays on the table. Like basically this is our one shot at this.
Yeah, like, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very risky, it's not the same. And he's like, well, am I gonna die? And she's like, well, no, but it's
like, but you might not come back, type of thing.
It's sketch. It's pretty sketch, bro. What do you say?
But,
and he's like, all right, let's do it. I trust you. And what's it called? Yoshino smiles as she boots up the device. They do link start, cue from Sword Art Online, and credits. And as of our recording, the new episode dropped. I have not seen today's episode.
I haven't either.
You haven't? Okay. So we didn't watch today's episode. This is Wednesday as we're recording. So we didn't see the first episode of part 2 of Eminence. Instead of giving a break, they're just like, fuck it, we're just going full retard with it.
Yeah.
And we didn't see the new episode of Flops, so we'll report on that next week.
Alrighty. Moving on. Gundam.
I am loving Gundam, dude. I am really so happy that I picked this up.
Yes. And we got, like, officially it's gonna qualify for a season and year. We had the 12 episodes, but yes. It will end January 8th, but we'll be able to grade it regardless.
Mostly, yeah. We'll be able to grade it.
Yep, and the other half will be in spring. So again, it qualifies.
It qualifies for next year as well.
Yep.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
But what's that fucking guy's name?
Which one? There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of men. So which men are you talking? Shadiq. Okay.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's such a mystery because he's the childhood friend of Miorine, and he's super sinister, but he's got a really like smooth charm to him that makes you not hate him nearly as much as you probably should.
You're right. Yeah, it's just his presence is friendly. That's the issue.
Yeah, he's super friendly. He's definitely the guy that like, I love you, bro. You're my best friend, and stabs you in the back.
Basically, just
fool.
And how'd you feel about that duel?
The 6-on-1.
Yeah, like that whole like. Basically, you gotta take out the captain too.
I like the concept. Are you talking about like duels in general?
No, I was talking about that actual fight.
It was a really good fight.
Basically, Shadiq challenges Soleta.
Yep.
Basically,
it's not just a one-on-one challenge. It's a team challenge. So it's 6v6.
Yeah, basically, captain falls type of duel.
Yep.
If he wins, he gets control of the company.
Yep.
Like he has his name on it. That's like the main shareholder type of thing.
Yep.
What was Mercury's stipulation? Like
It was not It was not Suleta. It was Miorine. Miorine is
Yeah.
one who had who she
basically
challenged the
hers
duel.
was stay out of it.
No, it wasn't that. It was kind of. It basically
Yeah.
in the previous episode, toward the end of the episode, they had changed the school bylaws where you had to have like safety testing in order to start your own company, and that's
Right.
not possible with Gundam because of the fact that what's it called?
It's Gundam, yeah.
It's Gundam that's deadly to normal people except for Suleta. So because of that safety test, they couldn't start the company, and they're like, "You changed that, didn't you?" And he just like he didn't say anything, but that confirmed that they changed it. So he's like, if we win the duel, then you're going to change the laws back to the way they were so we can start our company. Okay. And so you get the duel happen and you get I forget, is it Grassley? Are they Grassley House?
I think so.
Yeah, they're Grassley House. So basically, Grassley House consists of Shadiq and like his little like harem that he has. But the harem is actually a useful harem. They're all like top tier like gunners.
Like yeah, they're mobile suits.
Yeah, they're
top tier.
Top tier in their class. So there's Shadiq and 5 other girls that are super top tier, and then you have Miorine. I'm sorry, you have what's her face? You have Letta, and then basically House Earth, who are trash. And so
yeah, and she tries getting Jetzark, and he says no. Basically,
yeah, Jetzark says no because he's listening to his father. And then soon after that, his father's like, "I'm pulling you out of school. You're gonna get a job."
It's like you're disappointed because you keep losing duels. You're making a mockery of me.
Yep.
Of the family name.
Yep.
So why are you there?
Yep. And we find out in the next episode he ended up running away, and he's like some random job, and his name is Bob now, and not Guel.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a bit.
Yes.
But now on to the duel. 6-on-6. Here we go. Basically, shoot
House Earth gets wrecked. They get fucking ass wrecked.
Yep, just not even minutes.
Not even minutes, and like literally
as soon as they get separated, yeah, 4 of them are out. One is like half gone. Like
and ended up sacrificing herself. I believe was it the blue hair girl that sacrificed herself, or was it?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. All because of a boyfriend.
Yeah. And by the way, we forgot to mention that there is some sort of odd connection between the blue hair girl from House Earth and Shadiq. And that comes into play as well in the next episode. But there's a shady connection between that girl who's really sweet and kind, and she knows she's being taken advantage of by Shadiq, but she has to listen to him. And we find out the reason why in the next episode. But regardless, she sacrifices herself for Ariel, and she gets knocked out. So basically, it's 6-on-1, Ariel versus the entire House Grassley.
And Ariel is losing at first.
And she's losing at first because they basically deploy like an anti Gundam.
The max they use to shut down mobile suits. They
have
one that works
specifically
on
Gundam. It's anti-gun.
I'm saying like we've seen them before, but now we've seen one that's for the Gundam,
specifically for Gundam. Yeah, and so it shuts down Ariel, and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna lose. Oh shit, I'm gonna lose." And then she taps into her fucking magical fucking connection with Ariel, and was like, "You want me to do this on my own? I can't." Okay, if it's for you, I'll try. And she basically manually powers the Gundam up until it's able to break free of the anti-gun net, and fucking Ariel's manually 1 by 1 taking out these top tier fucking gunners from House Grassley. Takes them out. Ends up being, I believe, was it 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 toward the end?
I believe 2.
It's 2-on-1, right? So it was 2-on-1, and we forgot to mention it wasn't 6v6, it was 6v5 because they couldn't get Guel. And
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So as Ariel is cornered, Guel's about to defeat her. As he's powering up his cannon, a sniper shot from across the map takes out Shadiq's helmet, and it's Miorine. It's Miorine in a fucking mobile suit.
Yep, and so because of this, he loses because again, you gotta shoot that. You gotta shoot the captain.
Yep.
So they win. So Mazel Tov, everyone.
Mazel Tov. And then we move on to the next episode.
Yeah, assassinations.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, again. Now they want to kill, what's that guy's name?
Delling.
Delling, yeah.
Delling. But you know what's interesting? Before we get to the plot, we see Delling and Miorine. Miorine basically is away on school on business because of the venture. She's away from everybody. Being a CEO basically of
Trying to
Gundam.
basically get
And
more
we
investments
see,
in Gundam.
yeah, and we see basically that her and her father are now starting to kind of respect each other. They have a business partnership. They talk as business colleagues, but even her father's like, for a company that's been around for 2 months, you're doing a really good job. Continue to do this and you'll see success. And he goes on to his next meeting or whatever. And Miorine, kind of like has a nice small proud moment amongst herself before she moves on to her next task, I believe, which was going home back to the school.
Yep.
And as Delling's getting on a plane, we see what's his face, the old guy from Grassley, and then the boss of Jatark, and they're like, oh, let's have some champagne, and the guy's like, I'm not in the mood to drink, because basically earlier in that episode,
Was it I believe it's Sarius? Yeah, Sarius.
I don't know his name. Yeah, we'll say Sarius. Okay, so Sarius was in front of the committee for Benedict Group, however it is. And they basically denied that they wanted to strip Gundam or whatever, like it's a legitimate company, let them play out, whatever. And so Jatark is like, you knew that was going to happen. I could have told you that. And he's like, let's drink some champagne. And he's like, I'm not in the mood to drink. And Jatark is like, call it a pre-celebration. We're going to kill Delling. And so
he's like, huh?
And so he, what's his name? You just said.
Shit, I gotta go back.
Sorry.
It's okay. So let me go back. Sarius
tells Shadiq, and we also know by this stage that Shadiq isn't literally his biological son. He was adopted as a child, and we find out kind of where that is in a few seconds. But basically, he tells Shadiq of what the plan is, and Shadiq is like, "Let's do it," and he's like, "If you want, but if it fails, it's on your head, buddy. Don't let me down.
Yeah,
I won't let you down."
It's like basically, don't do anything right now.
Basically,
but he acts on his own. That's the issue.
He acts on his own, and so he contacts a I guess would you call them not bandits, like a group of assassins, like hired guns. He basically contacts some hired guns on Earth. And it's like a big black dude and like a few other people, and they're all
a couple of girls, yeah,
and they're living in a busted school in what looks like Japan, like a busted middle school or high school, and they have crops and stuff growing, and they're like, oh, Shadiq wants to talk to you, and he's like, oh, we're gonna hire you to kill them, blah 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 blah, and he's like, all right, well, we're not gonna do it unless you secure our ship and secure an escape route for when we're done the deed. I'm not gonna agree to it until I see the plans. Okay, no problem. And as Shadiq exits the conference room that he was making that call in, we see the same blue-haired girl. I forget her name. I could probably see if it's on here. Give me one moment. Gundam. The girl is
also
Nika. And before you go on your point,
also before this, Shadiq was planting stuff in Silhouette's head, like, oh, it's not a real match with you and Miorine, right?
Oh, yeah. Like she's just using you. And
that she's using you to get out, basically.
Yeah, basically. And so she's like, no, she's not like that. Whatever. So he plays that off. That comes into play momentarily.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. But as Shadiq is exiting that conference room, we see Nika on the side, and we find out that the man that Shadiq hired to be the hired gun is the father figure of Nika, because she was also one of those war orphans, and this guy takes in war orphans and stuff. And so he basically sent her over to the school. And so she's really upset because she overhears what's going on, and she knows she's being used by Shadiq. But at the same time, it's basically kind of the bidding of her father, who's the father figure on House Earth for that. So she's really, really conflicted right now, which is very interesting storytelling. And so as Ariel is, after that conversation with Shadiq, she's leaving the nursery because Miorine put her in charge of the nursery while she was on her business trips. We see somebody pop up. And who is that, Matt?
Ellen.
We see Elon come over, and Elon is, we find out later on, obviously it's not the original Elon. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's been killed. And it's not the twisted Elon, but the guy is almost as twisted as Elon. And he
starts seducing.
Yeah, like putting the moves on her. And of course,
about to kiss
her
her.
Doesn't know jack shit about nothing. She's like,
she runs away.
Yeah. But then basically repeats the same thing that Shadiq said, like, hey, it's a sham marriage. We should go on a date, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so she runs away. And we see basically the guy's like, oh well, that didn't go out as planned, but just a little bit more of a push and we'll get to where we need to be. And so
she starts running towards the greenhouse, and she sees these two
Yeah.
guys there.
Yeah.
As they tell them to get out, she doesn't know who they are, but they were Murins. They're
Miriam
guys.
is back. She hired two greenhouse attendants basically. And then she's like, oh, I saw Elon, and Elon said, whatever. And she's like, he wants to go on a date. She's like, okay, go on a date with him. Huh? Like, yeah, I hired Elon too. He's got experience with Gundam, and you can't be the only test pilot. And slowly but surely it starts to creep
It's
in
like
the
basically
reality of
like she's not needed.
she's not needed. Like, she doesn't care for her in the same way that
Basically,
Sumeda cares for her.
she just wants the Gundam.
It's not that she wants the Gundam, it's that
But basically that's all she cares about. So she wants someone to pilot the Gundam that can pilot the Gundam.
she doesn't see the value in Mirin's friendship. And there's basically like at the beginning of the episode, we see her talk about wanting, as part of her like friendly wish list or whatever, to exchange keychains, and she wanted to give Mirin a brother or sister keychain, and she throws away the keychain, runs away, and she's just extremely upset. And Mirin's just like, whatever. Oh, by the way, we're getting Ariel back, and you should come because you love your Ariel, and it's been 2 weeks since you've been without her, so come on with me. But we see her run away. She's upset, and I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's where it ended.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good storytelling. And now we're going on hiatuses because of fucking other.
Yeah. So basically, 2 weeks, the penultimate, and then 2 weeks after that is the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be done in a month.
Hooray!
All right. Raven the Inner Palace.
Another show I love. I absolutely adore Raven.
This was a nice one.
It's so good. It's getting deeper too.
Yeah, Ryu. She wears other outfits.
Ryu.
That's her name. The consort. Ryu. Ryu Jusetsu.
Jusetsu
Ryu.
Just call it Jusetsu.
Consort.
Fine, call it Raven Consort. That's fine too. I'm gonna call it Jusetsu, but you call it Raven Consort because that's what she is.
Oh yeah, Jusetsu. She wears other outfits besides the consort outfit.
Well, she's done that throughout the season though. That's not really anything breaking. Like, if she needs to do investigations and stuff, she'll put on other outfits.
Yeah, that's what she puts on too. It's like, you know what? It suits her.
It does. It does indeed.
But yeah, take it away.
Are we starting from just the last episode?
Yep.
We're gonna go episodes back. I feel like we have to go episodes back, but I don't remember the previous episode.
No, we talked about that.
We talked about how at the end of the episode that the woman was cornered, and I don't recall we talked about that, where the woman was cornered and gets attacked by a beast, and then we find out, and they find their dead body at the end of the episode, and that was after. I'm trying to remember that ghost story. Did we talk about the ghost story of the boy and the feather?
Yes.
I feel like we didn't, but okay, whatever. We'll skip. That's fine. We'll skip to the latest episode. All good. So the latest episode, basically, word is going around about the murder of the girl. Her throat was ripped out of her throat was ripped out of her neck, and word gets to Jusetsu. Jusetsu is like, like, interesting, and starts asking like different questions. Nobody could really give an answer. Just that the woman was one of the ladies in waiting at the Magpie Palace. And so she's like, okay, well, interesting. And so she sends one of the eunuchs over to go investigate at the Magpie Palace. And so she basically dresses in a eunuch outfit. She goes over to see the Minister of Works. And when she goes to see the Minister of Works, so she can hear more stories about her mentor, Li Niang, we see the Emperor there, and the Emperor and the Minister are playing a game of Go, which is like Chinese checkers, basically, something of that sort. And so she's like, oh, did you play Chinese checkers? And she's like, yeah, Li Niang taught me, and she always whooped my ass. And so the Minister of Works is like, you want to go with the Emperor? And they're like, no. And the Emperor is like, oh, like, I'll give you a 5 stone what's it called, what's it called, what's that word, like, advantage, I don't remember the word, but basically a 5 stone advantage. And she's like, I don't need that. And she's like, I'll take a 3 stone. Like, okay. And she basically told her, like, do your worst. And he whoops her ass, and she's upset because she's a sore loser.
That's right in that game. Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called.
And basically, she's like, I'm never going to play with you again, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, that'll make me sad. And then he's like, will this make you feel better? And gives her fucking candy, of course. And she's like, oh, why you always feed me? And she's like, you're not going to eat none? And he goes, no, these are for you. And he's like, well, I don't mind sharing them with you. She's like, all right, well, then let's have them as friends. And you sit down, they eat the little candies. They talk about how their mothers would basically give them these candies when they were younger. And it's a very nice moment between them. She's like, by the way, do you know about the murder? He goes, yeah. And he's like, do you know her name? And he goes, no. And his personal eunuch, I forget his name, but it was like, oh, it's so-and-so. Again, these names are, because they're Chinese names, are really difficult. So we're not going to try and butcher them. So basically.
Yeah. Also, it was because of the essence they had, like the sense.
No, I was gonna get into that. That's how she puts the
Okay.
pieces together. That's how she puts the pieces together. So
Gotcha,
she's like,
okay.
oh, like it's this name. Okay, interesting. And it came from the Magpie House. Okay. And then they're like, oh, how is the Magpie consort? Like, oh, she's still bedridden. And then the emperor is like, yeah, her brother fell from a horse and died, and she's been extremely grief stricken and has been in bed ever since then. And she goes, does she burn a lot of this incense, what you just mentioned? And he goes, yeah, in mourning. And she's like, the lady, and she puts 2 and 2 together and was like, the lady that visited her that dropped the shawl a few episodes ago that was asking to basically raise the dead, and she's like, I can't do that. That was the Magpie consort dressed as a lady in waiting instead of the consort herself. And she's like, and so after her eunuch gets back with the investigation, they're like, oh, we found out, like, so and so is there, like she's bedridden, blah blah blah. And she's also taken interest in one particular eunuch who's always with her at all times. And she had the mute lady draw her, because she's a really good draw him rather, and it's because she's a really good drawer. And it's the owl. And Jusetsu immediately starts shaking, and she's like, she wants to go and like investigate herself, but she's like, no. She sends the eunuch back. She's like, continue the investigation, don't push too deep, come back by nightfall. So it's around nightfall, he's still investigating when the owl finds him, and we presume knocks him unconscious. We don't know if he's dead yet, but basically knocks him unconscious. He doesn't come back by nightfall. Jusetsu's worried. Jusetsu runs after him, and so does Juju. Juju runs after her, and Jusetsu falls, and Juju's there to pick her up. And around that time, the emperor, of course, happens to be making just a random walk, finds them and asks if she's okay. And Jusetsu starts to come clean. Oh, and I skipped the part before we get to what she comes clean about. As the emperor was leaving for whatever errands he had to run, the minister realizes like there's feelings between the emperor and Jusetsu, and was like, love will lead you astray. It basically gives her an ominous warning. Love will lead you astray. And when you are basically telling her like, yo, like you're becoming weak, basically, is what he said. And that's what Jusetsu realizes, because throughout the rest of the episode, and in the previous episode as well, she starts realizing like the company that's around her. Before, it was always Solace being alone and having no connection.
She's not used to this,
and she's not used to it. And now she's got a lady in waiting. She's got 2 or 3 eunuchs as well, and she's got attendants with the mute woman and somebody else,
and is befriending the emperor.
Yeah, and is befriending the emperor. And so when she comes clean to the emperor, she's like, like, hey, like, I told the eunuch to go investigate for me, and the guy he's investigating is someone who's out to kill me, and I feel helpless because it should have been me to investigate. I shouldn't have sent him out, and I'm becoming weak. And the emperor, to his credit, was like, you have to realize you're a 16-year-old girl. Like, it's okay to be weak. It's okay to depend on others, because that's what friends are there for to do. And she gets upset, and everyone's crying, like Jusetsu and the boy are crying. And she's like, you're going to the Magpie House and Magpie Palace? And she's like, yeah. And so the emperor is like, I'll accompany you. And so they go to the Magpie Palace. The emperor's eunuch demands they open the door. They lead her to the Magpie consort, the Magpie consort's bedroom. There's a strong sense of incense, and there's a strong sense of something else. And normally when there's a strong sense of something else, it's blood. And so as the curtain opens, when you see the Magpie consort all disheveled, the curtain opens further. The owl is next to her, and the owl lets a sinister grin to end the episode.
So I can't wait.
Cannot wait. There's gonna be blood.
Oh yeah.
And there's
Very
gonna
good
be
stuff.
revelation. There's gonna be revelations, and I think I missed another piece as well because I didn't write this in my summary of it when I wrote about it the other day, and that basically both the emperor, not both, I'm sorry, just the emperor as he's talking to the minister says Jusetsu was chosen when she was 14, or I'm sorry, when was Li Niang chosen? It's like, oh, when she was 14. Like, oh, that's kind of late. Jusetsu was chosen when she was 6, right, to be the next Raven consort. They're like, yep, she ascended to the which is pretty wild when you think about it, considering how old she looked. She ascended to the throne to the consort level at 22, and every 8 years, basically, once you appoint a official replacement, you get 8 more years and you die after that time. So she died around 30 years old. Jusetsu took the throne at 16. In theory, that would leave her until she's 22. I'm sorry, she took the throne at 14.
Yep.
And so that would leave her until she's 22. Sorry. Yeah, so 22. And so she's only got 6 more years to live based off of this. And the emperor is very concerned because he really wants to break that curse, that spell, that demon of the raven within her. And so that's a very telling piece as well from that standpoint. So
Alrighty, moving on.
And to me, the best ED outside of the chainsaw EDs, it's the best ED of the season for me.
Agreed. All right, Uzaki. We got a flashback episode.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Uzaki's just reminiscing to fucking Amy and Itsuhito.
Yeah.
About their junior
Sakaki, yeah.
Yep. Sakaki.
Sakaki.
Yes. No, he's a Chad. But no, basically, basically in the junior years of the original swimming days.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's kind of like a reminiscence down memory lane of what attracted.
Well, it's not a reminiscence down memory lane. It's basically like, what was Senpai like in high school? That's how the previous episode ended.
But at the same time,
then,
it's like as she's talking.
Yeah, they're drinking, and it's a flashback episode, yeah.
Yeah, and on the other side is Sakurai taking care of her now baby sister.
We didn't go over this. We got to go back to the previous episode. We didn't go over that.
Okay.
We didn't go back. So basically, Sakurai goes back home after 2 years, and they were like, well, why does Senpai live alone? Because basically, well, we can go back. Basically, Ozaki wants to take the lead. She brings over a scary movie. She's too scared to leave. She spends the night, and then Sakurai gets a phone call. It ends up being his father. His father happens to hear that there's a woman in the house, and he's like, oh, you finally have a woman in the house. Good. Just don't go too crazy. And basically, we find out later on, like, oh, we're going to go to drinks. Where's Senpai? Senpai had to go home. Senpai returned home for the first time in 2 years. Senpai sees his mother, greets his mother, and is like, oh, are you babysitting? He's like, no, this is your baby sister. He's like, huh? And he's like, you didn't know you had a baby sister? He goes, no. He's like, your father was supposed to tell you. Huh?
And
what?
And they explain why they kicked him out to go to school and live alone, so they could have sex.
So they could keep fucking like they were newlyweds. And he's like, oh yeah, and I just didn't tell you, so you didn't come home. So every year I just deflected. Like, oh, I told him, he just didn't want to come home when he never contacted him in the first place.
What a piece of shit.
Piece of shit dad for real. Worst dad of the season.
I was like, wow.
Worst dad of the season. And so, but you know, they regardless, it's a funny scene regardless between them. And then they start drinking, and then the end of that episode, as we mentioned, is what was Sakurai like in high school? And so then you get the flash forward episode.
Swimming club.
Yeah, swimming
Sakurai
club.
Sakurai's showing her how to swim. It's like, you're doing it wrong. You're just pollution. It's just you gotta go. It's the hand motions, the movements.
She was dumb. Like, I understood exactly. Like, you're doing sploosh. You have to do sploosh. You're doing splat. Don't do splat. Do sploosh.
Basically, be graceful with your movements. If
you can hear it specifically. Like, you know, you're basically
like you're slamming down with your arms.
Yeah, you're slamming down. You have to be more graceful. You have to be more smooth with it. And but he only knows in swimming terms. And he's like, do you understand? He goes, I'm sorry. She's like, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. And so afterwards they reminisce, and they're like, oh, this is the third time you're teaching me, and it ends up basically we see the first spark between them way back when in high school, and it's very nice. And
basically what attracted her.
Yeah.
To him.
And so Ami is drooling because she's thinking of naked senpai because she's a pervert.
But she's also drunk.
and they're all drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like she's like passed out drunk. While
no, she's not passed out.
She looked passed out. She
was drooling. She was daydreaming, listening to the story.
Oh, I thought her head was on the table.
No, it was like in her hand, and she's like, like a creep.
That sounds
like a total creep. Anyway, so we flash forward again, and we see basically Ami. Sakaki gets them a cab. They drop off Uzaki at home. Uzaki's super shit faced, but she's not throwing up like the last time she got super shit faced. Yeah. And she they're talking whatever, and I'm very curious because basically what's her son? Yanagi goes over to Ami and was like, oh, any developments? Yeah, blah blah blah. And she's like, hey, I want to try something, and it cuts that scene off, and it's like, oh, what does she want to try? It'll be interesting. And so we flash over to Sakurai at home, and his father and him do kendo, and apparently not kendo,
judo.
They do judo. And because basically his father is a judo instructor, like a judo instructor, and he's like, why are you wearing an Aikido skirt? And he's like, oh, we just started these this year. He's like, you want your own? And he's like, yeah, I'm a little jealous, I want one, which is funny. But then he's like, all right, I have a proposition for you. If you slam me once in the next 10 slams, I won't ask you about your girlfriend. If you get slammed by me 10 times in a row without slamming me, I'm going to make you spill all the beans. And throughout them grabbing and fighting, he starts slowly like opening up to his father anyway about circumstances or whatever. And basically his father realizes immediately like, oh, my son is fucking worthless. Like he should be making the move. Like she wants you to make the move. You're a fucking moron. Go make the fucking move. Make the move before people start talking shit about her because she may be a whore because you're too stupid to fucking make the move on her.
Yeah, because like someone else will sweep her up.
Yeah, or they're gonna talk shit and be like, "Oh, she fucking stays with this guy, but they're not together. What a fucking slut!" And he loses connection again. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so right as that happens, basically, the mother had made dinner. His mother had made dinner and is pissed off that they're over here sweating and talking shit. And so she basically comes in, and she's also a instructor. High level judo, and she slams both of them, and apparently she's stronger than the father, and just like, you guys smell, both of you go take a bath now I have to reheat the food. Ugh, angry mother. And we see Sakurai thinking about the stuff that his father said, and then his father comes in and it was like, let's take a bath, son, you and me. And he's got his huge dangling cock there, like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? So
the whole family's packing.
Yeah, the whole family's home. Whole hand, well, not obviously the mother and the little baby girl, but in any case, at the end of that, we basically see, and it's kind of, we don't see it immediately, but we see it toward the end of the episode. His father tells him as he's leaving, make sure you do it right, and that sticks with Sakurai. And the mother asks, what did you tell him? And she goes, it's our secret, and he walks away. And so this notion of make sure you do it right sticks with Sakurai as he's at work, and we get a visit from a couple people. Matt, who do we get a visit from at work?
Was it the Hana family? Yeah, no, it was the father.
It was the father. We get Fujio and then the bald guy who works out.
Yeah, we get the gym. We get the gym crew.
Gym crew shows up, and it was like, wow, we heard Sakurai worked at a cafe, but didn't expect it to be your cafe. And we find out that the bald gym buddy is actually really close friends with the master, and he sells the master, I believe, bread. His company sells him bread that he sells at the store. And he's like, oh, I haven't been here in years, but we're close. And so they start having this conversation, and each of them gives Sakurai some decent advice, and the master basically gives him the best advice of it all and says, listen, you have a problem, you need to solve it. How you solve it is completely up to you, but the key is to solve your problem. Otherwise, you're never going to get nowhere. And he's like, wow, that makes so much sense. And even Sakaki is like, wow, master, like, what happened to your like policy of not interfering? And he's like, oh, it's okay once in a while to give, just a little nudge. And she's like, oh, I can't lie. That even made me emotional. Like, wow, that makes so much sense. And so Sakurai leaves the shop after the day, like everything's good. He sees Uzaki the next day, and he's like, hey, I'm going to thank her for everything she does. And the first thing Uzaki does, Matt, is
Be fucking annoying.
shits on him, annoys him.
You're like,
belittles
what? Like,
him.
why didn't you invite me to Christmas? Like, why?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, hey, why don't we spend Christmas together? I got invited to a Christmas party, but I'm willing to ditch them so I could be with my loser loner senpai. And Sakurai the whole time is like, I hate this bitch. I hate this bitch. Why did I ever try to be nice? Fuck this bitch.
Yep. So it's like, have you tried being less annoying?
And yeah, basically. And you see Sakaki in the background, like, I can't believe these two are so fucking stupid with each other. And credits.
All right.
But I like the flash forward from episode 1, and now it's going to pay off as we get to the last 2 episodes.
And this episode felt much like season 1 of Uzaki.
Yeah, it did, which was great.
So, yeah, that was nice. Let's move on now.
It's one of the better episodes. Yep.
Married Couple.
It's so good.
We had a beach episode.
We did. It's so good.
And the cameraman.
We got it. Well, we got it again. We're doing 2 episodes. You got to go back. The only critical part is basically, what's it called? Everybody basically gets jobs at the beach over the summer, and what's it called? Jiro. I'm sorry. Shiori. No, not Shiori. Akari.
I felt like we talked about that.
I don't know that we did. We talked. It's about the swimsuit and specialty.
We talked about the swimsuit.
I don't recall. I don't think we did, dude. I assure you, I don't think we did.
All right.
So again, it's just a brief glance over, but basically, she gets 2 swimsuits. She gets one swimsuit that we don't know, and she gets a really sexy, revealing swimsuit. And she asks Jiro, like, "What do you think of the swimsuit?" And he's like, "I think you're showing too much." And she's like, "Okay, I hear you. So this will be the swimsuit that I wear with you." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And again, the episode is full of like cute moments between everybody. As we continue to see the other development, basically, is May continuing to like not know how to deal with her best friend who she loves, but knows that she can't be with because she loves the other guy. And so we get to the beach episode now. Everybody and their mother is there. Everybody in the crew happens to have the same job working together, and it is very, very suggestive, Matt. The entire episode.
Yeah, especially fucking Shiori.
Yeah.
When they were building, first is when they were building the sandcastle.
No. First is when they freaking are in the kitchen and they're making cake.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And she's so descriptive. It's like literally watching a hentai. Yeah, right there. Little softer. Yeah, no, you're not squeezing hard enough. There you go. Let it out slowly. Let it out.
And
yeah, right there. And Jiro gets fucking nervous, squirts the ice cake all over her face. Yeah. It looks like cum.
And she's like, "You gotta be more careful." That type of thing.
Careful. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I like it. I like the way it tastes. It was fucking hilarious. And as there's a piece that she missed. Jiro goes over to her face, touches her face very gently, wipes the cream off her face, the makeshift jizz, wipes it off her face, and they both start leaning in. And Shiori opens her eyes briefly because she's facing the door, and we see the 2 girls from fucking Akari's crew staring in the door. They both freak out, and they're like, "Oh, sorry to disturb you, whatever. Like, we'll just skip it, whatever." And they're too embarrassed. And that ends that. But Shiori basically is proud of herself. She's like, I made a little bit of headway, even if it was just a tiny bit, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And that was one of the other critical pieces of that other episode. So we get the beach episode. We see Akari in her swimsuit. It's a one piece. And everyone's like, oh, it's very surprising considering Akari dresses so risque all the time.
And then Jiro realizes, the one she showed.
No, he doesn't realize that till afterwards. And we'll get to when he realizes that. But basically, the episode consists of they go to get what's called crepes for everybody, and there's a couple's discount on crepes, and free upgrade to large crepes. So they get the crepes, or Jiro gets the crepes. As he goes to get the crepes, these guys start to hit on
these beach hunks are like hitting on Akari.
Yeah,
has an arm around her. It's like, oh yeah, are you with her? Yeah, she won't say her name or anything. You see Akari actually being scared,
and Akari's like, do something, dude. So basically, Jiro's too nervous, and they're like, "Oh, are you trying to get after her, dude? We saw her first." And he's like, "No, it's not that." And he grabs her, and it's like, "We're not boyfriend girlfriend. We're married." And they're like, "What? Oh my god, fuck! So sorry, dude. Congratulations later." And what's it called? Akari's like, oh, that was so like she's embarrassed, but she's like, that was so hot the way you saved me. And Jiro's like, I'm sorry, and it
So
pisses
she
off
ruined
Akari.
it.
Yep, you ruined it. I can't believe you, but she's still flustered. And so they get their crepes, everything is good. They get out they go into the bathhouse, and the scene focuses on the girls' bathhouse. And the girls' bathhouse, they're talking about love. The blonde girl, like they're talking about
Akari's
fucking,
crew. Yeah,
like she's a
one.
little whore. And
Yeah, basically, the guy is like controlling this girl. Like, hey, you need to
yeah,
lose weight, that type of thing.
yeah.
It's like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
a no.
Yeah, she's like, when I do him, I have to think about these things. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
so May just goes to them. It's like, hey, we could hear you. Like, yeah, why don't you come join us then?
yeah,
Yeah.
please, please, let's talk. And they're embarrassed, but May actually gives really solid advice on how you should deal with like relationships in general. And obviously, I'm sure they know she's gay or whatever, but she still gives really solid advice. They appreciate her advice. And again, with the fan service, they're all naked. You don't see nipples, but you see bare ass. And it's pretty glorious to see.
And upper chest, yeah.
Yeah, but then we get a moment between Shiori and Akari, and they're like, I'm not, they have like just a nice, like kind of chill moment amongst each other. And they're both thinking of Jiro. Like, I wonder what Jiro would have done. I wonder what Jiro would have said. And neither of them obviously know that because they can't read minds, but they're both thinking of Jiro at this time. So Akari gets out the bath, sees Jiro there, and Jiro's like, oh, I'm sunburned. And Akari's like, well, sit down. Let me put the cream on you. And they're like, and Jiro basically is really self-conscious of Akari because he's a loser and Akari's not. And they're like, oh, like, I don't want anybody to say anything about you. I don't want you to be embarrassed. And Akari thinks he's talking about himself. And no, he's being self-conscious about Akari's image because she's a cool girl. And Akari, Jiro is such a moron because Akari is basically telling her, like, I don't care what anybody says about you and who I spend my time with.
But it's also the same time, Akari likes to switch her personality back and forth.
She does. She's inconsistent, which is a fair assessment for sure. But basically, she's like, I want to get the Jiro that I get at home. And Jiro's like, well, we're not, officially together. We're not doing the practical. And she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, like, this is what I've grown accustomed to with you. I want to continue that. You're so cold. Like, you act like I'm just a convenience, like not somebody you care about. And whatever. And so he's like, I'm sorry. She gets pissed off again at the I'm sorry's. And then as she's leaving with her friend after they made Jiro buy them juice and fucking soda, she texts Jiro and is like, beach house, 10 minutes now, angry emoji. And he looks over at Akari. Akari's got a death glare, like, you better fucking show up. And so they show up, and coincidentally everyone's like, oh, well, where did Jiro and Akari go? And then Shiori and May are like, well, let's go out too, not realizing Jiro and Akari are gone. But so they go out on their thing, and then we see Jiro and Akari at the beach house. Akari begins to strip, and Akari is wearing the bathing suit. Jiro realized
that she said, only you can see you.
And Jiro realizes, holy shit, she was being serious. And
yeah, I didn't expect that either.
I expected it, but still, the way it was really sexy the way they did it. But again, basically Jiro's like, I'm sorry. And Akari's like, you always apologize. You don't even know why I'm mad. You don't even know what you're apologizing for. Don't apologize for everything. Not everything is your fault or anybody's fault. And he's like, I'm okay. Like he has to correct that because his natural instinct as a loser is say, I'm sorry. But then basically Akari continues to pour out her feelings to her and to him is basically like, like, you're cold. Like, like, what's going on here? Like, like, basically, again, like trying to confirm feelings amongst each other. And at that moment, as she's sitting there in that sexy swimsuit, May and Shiori come over. They end up hiding.
Before that, she's like, look at me, damn it. Yeah, look at the mountain titties.
Yeah, seriously. And we continue that in a little bit. So May and Shiori come over. They sit in the bench that they were at, and basically Akari and Jiro hide in like a cupboard in like this lighthouse, basically, or in this lifeguard tower.
Yep.
And they're really close to each other. And basically, they're trying not to get caught. And eventually, they almost get caught, but they don't, because basically May's like, oh, it's a ghost. And they're like, oh, what if it really was a ghost, when they hear them fussling around. But basically over the time that they were together, again, they're really hot, they're close. Fucking Akari's got her legs open, and Jiro, starts to look at her, and they start having, like, again, a kind of a serious conversation, whispering amongst each other. And Jiro, for the first time in the series, loses his cool. and not in like an angry way, but in a sexual way. Like, he's panting, he's hot, he leans on
And
her
then we find
more.
out
Jiro's like, oh, what's Akari's like, oh, dude, move your knee. And Jiro's like, that's not my knee. And Akari's like, what? And she looks down. We don't ever see the boner, but he's got a boner. And Akari's like, is that because you saw me? And he's like, you told me to look at you. And she's
like,
flustered.
I didn't mean it, Baka.
Yeah, she's really flustered by it. But in a way, she's happy. Like, Jiro sees her as a woman. And they're like, once Mei and Shiori leave, they're like, okay, we can get out. And Jiro's not moving. Jiro collapses on her. And Jiro has heat stroke.
Yep.
Because they were in that cramped space for too long, and it's a hot summer night in Japan, and they get really hot in Japan in the nighttime. So they end up taking him back to the hotel. They give him water, stuff like that. He apologizes for everything again. And I believe Akari said something slick or whatever, and then that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, I forgot what she said.
Regardless, I love it. I love
the
tension is really good, and the conflicting feelings is really relatable, I suppose, too, from various perspectives.
Gotcha. All right, we got 8 more to go.
Jesus Christ, bananas.
All right, let's go. Spy Family.
You take this one. I actually like these last couple episodes. I like them.
I did and didn't.
Okay, tell me why.
First, we got Fiona back. I'm happy for it.
I love Fiona. Yep,
and they have a lead for this thing, and they have to do it in terms of a tennis competition.
Yeah, basically they need to retrieve a dossier that contains potentially war, like damning evidence between the East and the West.
But it's in a patent.
Yeah, there's a code in a painting that'll let you know where the dossier is. So basically,
the thing is, there's a tennis competition. If you win, you get
any art piece you want. No, you get any art piece you want from the collectors.
Okay.
From the collector's collection, including that piece. And they're like, we have to win this trophy back before the secret police call him and let him know that they need that item.
But they find out it's a couples tennis type thing.
It's a couples tennis. Yep, a couples tennis.
So Lloyd and Fiona.
Well, it's doubles officially, not couples, because they're the only couple, really.
But I'm saying, more like that type of thing. Then
yeah,
and Yor sucks at tennis.
Yor sucks at tennis, so Fiona and them have to do the competition. And no, it's not that he was going to pick Yor. It's that he was training himself to play tennis because he didn't really know how to play tennis very well.
But I'm saying I'm pretty sure he probably could have, but again, it was rather have another agent.
Yeah, Yor and Anya were like they end up getting into tennis, but it was basically always the mission between Fiona and Twilight and Lloyd.
Anyway, and Yor talks about wanting to kill her
a little bit, yeah.
It's there, like, oh well, and then Anya had to have her hey, no, get out of here,
basically. And so the tournament begins, and they play in succession 2 former pros, guys on super steroids, some other random group that they
and then they go to the finals where it's like this.
It's the
popular. Best duo tennis players.
They're the son and daughter of the
matchmaker.
And basically they're insured to win. Everybody's betting on them.
So they have to win.
And basically they rig the entire game, like various fucking steps.
Special tennis rackets.
Special tennis rackets, which is legal. All this stuff is kind of legal, basically. It's like an anything goes underground tournament, which is funny considering you think it's like an underground fight club. No, it's an underground tennis club.
Yep. And so they have all this, but apparently Lloyd and Fiona didn't get that memo.
Yeah.
But basically they're trying to outmaneuver around all these. It's even the ground, the tennis court ground.
Yeah, tennis ground is moving. There's air on the net. The nets are going up and down. There's fucking snipers shooting rubber bullets at them. They before the final match even began, they got put in a special room where fucking toxic gas that was supposed to fuck their nerves up. Like some special nerve gas was pumped into it, and it affected them very briefly early on, where they lost the first set because of it.
And all of a sudden they were telling them oh, Lloyd was drunk. Yeah, a hangover, and he's still doing this.
He's playing with a hangover. Oh my god!
But basically, yeah. So all of that has happened, but they don't catch on fully to this current episode, and now they're understanding the patterns of everything.
Yep.
So now all these plans are just failing.
Yep.
And now it's got to the point where Lloyd wins.
Yep. Lloyd and Fiona win. They
But-
get winning, but unfortunately, the secret police called a few minutes before they won, literally the second after they won, they called, and they're like, "Okay, well, we want this painting." Like, "Oh, well, unfortunately, that's the one item we can't. It's in the catalog. We can't give it to you, unfortunately." And over the course of time, like, "Hey, they'll be here in 10 minutes. We got to do this quick." And so they're like, "Where's Lloyd?" Like, "Oh, he's still hungover. He went to go lay down." Okay. And so they're like, "All right, well, you have options if we can't have the painting that you would suggest." And she's like, "Yeah, you can have some of these." And so they go to look at them, and a man is like, "Hurry up, get the painting." And he's like, "Oh, we just want to make sure that the painting is okay." And she takes the frame, opens the frame, and does something with the frame, and that's that. And so the secret police come, they give him the frame, everything is good. And so they escort Fiona out. This agent who says like, "Hey, I'm gonna go escort Mrs. Fiona out." Okay, no problem, whatever. Like, "Oh, see if they'll they'll play with us again." And Fiona's like, "Oh, maybe we should play for them again." And Lloyd's like, "Nah." He takes off the disguise. The secret agent was Lloyd. Lloyd switched out the painting for a fake and got the real code. They found the little code in there, and all's well that ends well from that standpoint. He tells Fiona like, "Hey, drop me off here. We don't want to be suspicious." Okay. And Fiona the whole time is upset, like, "I'm gonna kill this woman. Like, I'm the best wife."
And now it got to the point where she got out as like, "You, housewife."
No, before you get there, he dropped her off at the park, thinking like, "Oh, we don't want to be suspicious." And Anya and Yor are practicing tennis at the park. Had he got dropped off at the fucking home, none of what happened would have happened. And so Fiona takes it upon herself, like, "You fight me."
Yeah, basically. And then Yor said okay, because that was like she wants to prove herself in front of Lloyd.
Yep.
So she's like, she's ready, she's focused, she's hyped up, throws the ball. We thought she missed, but no, the ball is just
sliced to fucking billions of pieces.
And fucking Fiona under her face, like, huh?
Nah. What?
And she's like feeling sorry for the balls. Like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, Yours like, "I gotta go 100%, but stop at the very end." And she does, and sends a whole comet towards Fiona. They do a Dragon Ball.
She went fucking Kamehameha.
She went Kamehameha with the thing. They see Fiona get fucking blown away. She is able to deflect the ball, but her racket shatters. The ball goes into a tree and leaves a fucking crate in the tree. Crater.
Yeah, basically, it's like basically my love for Lloyd will help me deflect this back, and nope.
Mm-hmm.
So humiliated. She's like, "I'm leaving."
You win. You're better than me this time. And she drives away all fast, and you see her in the car, and she's bawling, crying, like, "I can't believe I lost. She's better than me. I'm nothing, man." And Lloyd's like, "What the fuck?"
And the Anya's is like, "Good."
Anya's good.
And did you see the after credit?
There's an after credit. That wasn't an after credit. That was when they talk about the dossier. That wasn't an after credit. That was like
no.
It was
Fiona's practice.
No, I didn't see that.
No, she went hiding in the mountains with a giant club, practicing her swings.
I didn't see it. Because they said that the end of the episode is basically Lloyd asks, "Where's Fiona?" And they're like, "Oh, she's in the mountains right now practicing her serve." Okay. And so they're like, "Did you get the dossier?" "Yeah, here's the dossier." The code was really easy to crack. They open the dossier, and a dossier isn't a Secrets of the East and West. It's pictures of young-looking girls in plays, and apparently the former general loved seeing these theater plays, and was like, he used to basically obsess over it, take creepy pictures of them, and his wife is like, "Dude, like, you're creepy, fucking burn those shits." But rather than burn them, he put them in an underground bunker and wrote in the dossier where it was, and that's what they were. And everyone's like, "It's creepy," but then one of the guys is like, "It's still beautiful. These are beautiful pictures. It's a beautiful thing for theater." And Lloyd is pissed off. He's like, "I can't believe I fucking sacrificed and went through so much just to get pictures of these girls." And at the end, as he puts the book down, he sees a family picture, and what's it called? The handler is like, yeah, through the very end, he was a family man. He cared about his family so much, and he didn't want to hurt them in any way, despite having the secret. And Lloyd is like, it must be hard being a family man and hiding secrets, huh? And that's how the episode ends before this apparent after credit that I missed.
Yep, that Fiona just you see her practicing the swing, like I'll get you next night type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like very eager, but yeah, basically after all that, it's like, man, that whole 2 episodes was a fucking waste. Then
Mm-hmm.
that's why I didn't like it. Like it was cool, but at the same time, it was just a giant fucking waste.
Yeah, in that sense. But I mean, they tried. That's basically part of the comedy of the show. Like, like when you think it's one thing, nope, it's another thing, completely different. And it can be in some instances, but other instances not so much. I didn't mind them though. I thought they were entertaining again because it wasn't an Anya centric fucking episode. Any episodes that aren't Anya centric episodes, I enjoy far more than when they're Anya centric. That's just me, because I don't like Anya. It's funny because I get the Uniqlo ads and I love buying Uniqlo anime shirts. And they have Spy Family. And the very first time I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna get it. And I was like, why? I don't even like Spy Family. Why am I fucking fronting? Nope, didn't get them. Morph?
Morph. Yes.
Morph.
All right. Moving on. Bocchi the Rock.
Hilarious. Homegirl was watching it with me, and Homegirl was like, I really like her social distress. And I was like, they really write it really funny.
Yeah, they handled it very fucking well.
They do handle it very fucking well.
And fucking basically, it's. Are we just gonna talk about current or this one, or should we talk about?
Are we gonna talk about what? I'm sorry.
Are we talking about the current episode?
Butcher the Rock. What happened in the previous episode? Was the previous episode did we talk
the
about
summer break? It was about the escalator.
That was this episode, was it not?
That was last week.
Basically, we could recap it really slowly.
Basically, summer break after everything. They go to
we
this
talk
thing.
about the performance?
We did do that performance. We did
do the performance. Okay, yeah.
That was when we came back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the next episode, basically, they go on summer break, and Bocchi really wanted to hang out with the girls, and none of them invited her to hang out. It's the final day of summer break, and she's all depressed and mopey, and they're like, why is she so depressed and mopey? They're like, oh, did you guys hang out at all during summer break? Like, no, I was busy. No, I didn't want to do anything. No, I thought one of you guys think. Nope, nobody invited her out. Nobody invited her out.
Yeah, like, God, you guys are horrible people.
Horrible people.
So they do that, and we get a fucking Yamcha reference.
Yeah, that was funny.
With the seagulls, the birds attacking her, she just pulls a Yamcha laying down. And fucking Kita's extrovert energy is surreal.
Yeah.
It affected everyone. That's the point. Like, oh, well, let's climb to the shrine. Let's climb up all the stairs, and everyone just wants the escalator.
Yep.
But no, the fact that she was too adorable and her high energy is like, fine. And they're all dying as they get up.
Shaking my head.
And they're like, no, we're doing this. Fuck you. We're doing the fucking escalator.
Yep.
But at the end, and then as they were taking a selfie, they were happy until a couple was being lovey-dovey behind her. Like, mood's ruined. Fuck this. This is the worst thing. But no, and then add to the fact, like, yeah, Bocchi had a really fun time. So that was nice. Now this episode. Basically, of course, school festival. They want to know what to do. What's their theme? Is it a horror house? Is it a maid cafe? The same two tropes.
Of course.
It's always that. If not, you failed as a slice of life anime. Basically, yeah. And then one of them talked about, hey, we have a sign-up sheet for performances. If you want to perform for the thing, come on down, basically.
Come on down.
So Bocchi debates on that, like, just by herself. Like, she doesn't tell the bandmates or anything. She tells the sister.
Yep.
They talk about what's going on and all this, how she feels.
Yep.
They'd be like, it's like, I want to do it. Like, I want to do that for the school, but I feel like they would say it's like it's beneath them type of thing. And they got to the point where they come in and say, oh yeah, Bocchi wants to do this. Like, oh, we should definitely do it.
No, well, you forgot to mention that Bocchi gave herself a concussion and passed out with the sheet.
Oh yeah.
Bocchi's like, why did I fill this out? Oh my god. And she
That's
fucking
what
like slams her face on the ground like 5 times, and then
well, I was
passes
getting
out.
to that. I was gonna get to that. I was
All
like,
right,
because
my bad.
it happens after. Yeah. Because
Oh, yeah,
she
my
filled
bad,
it
my bad.
out. Yeah, she filled it out, and she's
Yeah.
she's at the room. She's in front of the door where the drop-off box is.
Mhm.
And then she's like, should I not? Type of thing. And then she fucking slips. And then she's passed out. Kita visits her.
Mhm.
And then Bochi's like, shit, I can't let her see the paper because she didn't tell her.
Yep.
So it got to the point where like, oh, it's in the trash type of thing. Like, I'm good.
Yep.
You can go without me. Go hang out with your friends. I'm good. I promise.
Okay.
Yep. Throws in the garbage.
Yep.
And then later on, we get to the next day. Like, oh yeah, like how you feeling? I feel great. Oh, by the way, I dropped off the Faye. You left in the trash.
What?
Yep. It's like, oh yeah, like the coastal event. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. She asked like fucking like one of the Picasso type paintings, and then like,
No, my life
Yep.
is ruined. And then everyone's like, yeah, I've never played a cultural festival. And they're like, and I love Rio. Rio's like, well, if we bomb, there's 4 of us to share the pain. And she played her cultural festival and bombed once.
Yeah, I was like, motherfuckers.
That was funny.
And of course, our favorite girl, Kikuri,
Yep.
the drunk, she like kicks the door in.
Senpai! Sochi Kudasai!
It's like, Kemisaki. It's like, no.
Fuck off.
And she goes to fucking Nishika. It's like, hey, you're the sister. You like me, right? It's like, go
Fuck off.
That's happening. So basically, it's now she's like invited. She talks to Bochi about it. And it's like, oh, you should come to my concert and my benefit. It's like, oh, why invite him all of a sudden? It's like, you need money, don't you? And then fucking
She's like, no, it's a thank you.
yeah.
And
Then
she
the
gives her a
fucking
thank you.
Nijika's sister's like, you owe her money, and you over there, you owe her money too.
Yep.
And then it's like that's like $10 type of thing. They're like, bowing
Yeah.
like, we're sorry.
Yep. And then Rio goes starving
Yes, again.
because they all go out to eat afterwards. And Rio,
Well, they go to the concert first, and then that.
and it's a really good concert.
Yeah, basically they're all intimidated by the crew. It's like, oh, they look intimidating and all this, but you find they're just fucking sweethearts.
Yeah, they're all cool people, chill people.
And the music was good, like when
Yep.
they were playing.
Yep.
And we got a nice moment with Kikuri and Bochi. They talk about like, oh yeah, I used to kind of be like you when I was your age, type of thing, like the nerves and all this.
Mhm.
And like you just keep on going, and they slowly eventually go away, type of thing.
Yep.
And then and then we get to the dinner fete, and fucking
Yep.
fucking Rio's like, feed me. She's the only one that's not eating anything. Then eventually Nijika kicks in, like, oh fine, you can have one French fries. And then she's like, bless, thank you. It's like, oh fine, here, have more. God damn it.
Yep.
Stop it. Yeah, they're all pumped up, motivated, like let's give it all for the festival. And then we see Kita and Bochi walking home together, and Kita actually apologizes, like, I knew you wanted to throw it out, but I did it anyway. And then Bochi's like, you know what? Like, I'm glad you didn't.
Yep.
Like, now I really want to do this.
Yep.
So that was nice. Like, Bochi's slowly growing.
She is slowly growing for sure.
And I like that.
I love it. I can't wait. The final 2 episodes are gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, I am looking forward to it. I can't wait. I wonder what song they're gonna play.
They're gonna play the originals, and Bochi's gonna shine in her because they basically said it in the episode. They're like, okay, we're gonna play our originals. That's 3 songs. That's 15 minutes. You get 15 minutes of a performance on if you perform.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so we're gonna play our first song, and then we're gonna let Bochi have a guitar solo. And Bochi's like, a guitar solo, and they're like, yeah, it's your cultural festival. We want you to shine. So you're gonna get a guitar solo.
Yeah. For her and Kita, it's their
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah. And Bochi's like, oh my god, like she's shocked but happy, and now like in the next episode, guarantee she's gonna be freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, it's gonna be it's the penultimate of Slice of Life, so yeah, it's gonna be a little issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she disappeared. That was how the episode ended.
Yeah,
Like,
Bochi
she's gone.
disappeared.
Yeah. She was so hyped up day of the festival, gone.
They'll find her in the stairs probably.
Yeah, probably. Or in the back of the thing where she had their lunch that one time.
True. It'll probably be a high school trope, and she'll be on the roof.
Maybe we'll see.
Committing suicide. What?
No, stop! It's not Wonder Egg. She tripped. She tripped. I don't know what happened. She was trying to frame, but she tripped and fell down.
She was practicing and she happened to slip on from the ledge.
That still pissed me the fuck off. I'm still mad at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. 2-year eternity.
It's so weird, but the last few episodes have been super solid.
Yeah, and the Bonshin's growth.
Significant.
That's significant
It
growth.
rivals Bochi a little bit.
Yeah.
It rivals Bochi a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about like he's
I'm over here playing with my hair.
Yeah, he's arrested for basically being aligned with the devil, basically.
Yeah.
And he's with what's that prisoner's name?
Who, Toto?
No.
The little kid.
Yeah, the kid.
Fuck, I was gonna say Frodo. It's not
No.
Frodo.
No, Toto is that guy.
Who's a girl?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't know if we talked about that.
No, we didn't.
So we gotta
Chabo.
Chabo. Guerrero?
Yeah, Chabo. No, Chabo, not Chabo. Yeah, so but yeah, Bond is talking to Chabo. He's like talking about how he sees the dead and all this, like his mother, like he's like the mother is talking to him, and then Chabo's like, no, she's alive, type of thing.
Okay, I'll let you believe that, kid.
Yeah, and then the priest, like, they lower the thing down.
Yeah.
And he's like talking, he's like, so are you gonna confess to all this? So he talks to the guard, like, hey, the girl you had with you, like he was describing the mother, and then Chabo's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and everyone is shocked, completely shocked.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, and yeah, even the priest is like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, what kind of fucking hearsay is this? Heresy. Is it hearsay? No, it's not
hearsay.
Is it hearsay? I thought
It
was
is hearsay.
Heresy. Heresy is what I was looking for.
Heresy, sorry.
Heresy is what I was looking for. Go man.
Yeah. So all that was going on. It's like, fine, we're gonna lower you back down, basically. Like, get the fuck away. You're
gonna die.
Yeah. Like we'll deal with you later. We'll have in another trial.
Yep. And meanwhile, Bochi, or not Bochi, what the fuck am I saying? Bochi.
Fushi. He's being burnt alive with molten
consistently.
lava. Yeah, like he's regenerating, but it's still
every 7 seconds he regenerates, dies. Regenerates, dies.
It's getting to the point where it might not last much longer if he doesn't really adapt to it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where he was adapting. Like, you see, like, the metal, like, break, like he's about to break free, but like, shit, cool it. And then you see it, like, it's like at the outline of the body, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's trapped there forever. He ain't getting out. It's done. He's done. And then we get back to the other guys, and the rope is like, it's about to, like, it's like too much weight.
Yep.
So Bon and Chabo, they're going down, like to the alligators.
Yep.
And of course, Fushi saves them.
Yep.
Basically, yeah, he now adapted with the molten fire. He's now
able to escape he was able to escape via the hawk. Guard.
During the smoke, yeah.
Yeah. He was able to escape via Lagarde. And so he comes over, he manages to make a boat, because he can make a boat, makes a boat, rows over, gives the alligators food, and he forgot the food that he gave them is the sleeping food that put him to sleep.
Yeah.
And so they get knocked out.
Yeah, and fucking Toto and Chabo are on the boat.
And he's like, come on, Bond. And he's like, Bond's like, nope, I gotta atone for my sins.
Yeah, like, basically, like, I'm basically to protect him, type of thing.
Yeah.
And Fushi, like, just nods his head understandment and starts to drift away, and then we get to the morning.
Yeah.
So he's like, I admit that he confesses to the priest, like, oh yeah, he's a devil and all this. So do you hate him now? I was like, no.
I love him. I love the devil. And they fucking put him to death.
Yeah,
and that episode ends with him getting his head chopped off.
Yeah, and we see that.
Or does it?
Yeah, but first, we're gonna get to that. But yeah, you see the head, like, rolled up, rolled out.
Yeah.
But
are you gonna talk about his, like, powerful, like, realization as he's about to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just everything that he wanted, like using. He wanted originally it was to use Fushi.
Yeah. To be king.
And yeah, to be king, and but this meeting with him, interacting with him,
Yeah.
understanding him, it made it like this is worth more than the kingdom.
Hell yeah.
And he has no regrets. But yeah, we see the guillotine go down, and everyone like was passed out. Like
Yeah, that's
you
the
don't know
beginning,
what
beginning of
happened.
the next episode. Everybody's asleep. And then Benedict, what's his face? What? Not Benedict. What's his name?
Priest.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find his name for you. Not you. Where the fuck is he? He's on the cast list. Sylvia.
Cyril, whatever.
Cyril. Yes, we'll call him Cyril.
Okay, so Cyril wakes up first and he's like, what the fuck happened? Did we kill him? Did we kill him? And he sees Bond's fucking bloody body
Yes,
and the head.
head.
And he's like, we did it. We did it. And everyone is mourning. Everyone is mourning. And then Bond wakes or not Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, he wakes up. No,
Wakes up. I said Bond. I'm not fucking
Bond. Bonchin.
Bonchin wakes up and he's like, am I dead? And he goes, yeah, you're dead. And he's
Yeah,
like, wow.
because he's talking to the spirits.
Yeah, he's talking to the spirits still. And he sees Fushi, and Fushi's like, yeah, you're dead, dude. And he's like looking down. He's like, what's going on? He's like, it's your funeral. Everyone's crying because you're dead. And he's like, oh my God. And he's like, shh, they'll hear you. He's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I'll be right back. And he brings up his entire family in an emotional reunion. And he's like, are they all dead? What's going on? And he's like, no. He's like, I knew you would kill yourself. So I couldn't figure out.
Basically, I couldn't leave you there. So basically,
he came up with his own plan.
So he was basically had it test the poison.
No, well, he was like, how can you save him? How can I save him? And it was the what's his name? The descendant. I forget his name.
Which one?
Hayato. The Hayato descendant.
Kahaku.
They came up with a plan, and they're like, oh, there's got to be some sort of like poison inside that book that Tonari left you. So they go through and they found a sleeping agent, and they come up with a sleeping agent. And basically what he did was at the moment that he was going to die, he, as Lagarde, he spread the sleeping agent so everybody would fall asleep. He managed to save Bond before that, and then he basically copied his body and made it look like he was dead, and then escaped with him.
It's now basically him and fucking what's her name?
And Toto,
yeah. Toto's dead too.
Yep, everybody's dead. Chabo's dead. And basically they're like, all right, well, you're dead. You can no longer be part of the family. And they're like, I'm sorry for everything. And Bond's like, no. He's like, I've never been so happy to not be king. He basically verbally reiterates everything that he's saying. Thanks, Fushi. And so Bond, so he can adapt to his new life, cuts his hair, cuts his beard completely, including the mustache.
It even changes his posture.
Changes his clothes. Yep.
And then basically we see Fushi talking. You see Fushi talking to a girl, and then the sister. So he starts going there, and this girl's like, you don't know me type of thing. Like, you don't recognize me. And he's like, no. It got to like this emotional thing, and then you find out it's
Toto. And basically she, what's it called? Because she starved herself for so long, she got skinny again. And we find out basically that, hey, my father used to work here and you fired him. The family was fired. And so he snuck me in. But then some shit happened, I forget. And she got depressed. And so she started eating at the local bakery and just stuffing her face, like binge eating and, depressed eating. And that's why she got fat.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it got to the point where like, can he work again? Can you like forgive him type of thing?
Yeah.
And
it was very sweet at the end, because basically Bond upsets Toto, and she starts to cry or whatever, because basically she's like, oh, and she thinks like, oh, he wants me to be fat again. I'll be fat again. Starts stuffing her face, and they're like, no, it's not like that. And then
it's like she's like pouring her heart out to him, like like she loves him, type of thing.
She really loves him, yeah. And so basically, at the end, they're like, "Oh, it's a pre-celebration for your funeral," and so that the fireworks start going off, and he's like, "Come, we have a better idea of where we're gonna go." So everybody goes up to the top of the castle, and there's Toto's father. They're reunited, and Bon is there. Bon apologizes for the mean stuff he said to her, and was like, "Are you gonna go home, or are you gonna stay at the castle?" And then her father's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And Bon is like, basically says like, "I would love for you to stay at the castle." And so they hug, fireworks go off, they experience love. And she mentions like, "Oh, with Chavo, we have a little family." And Bon said that.
I really like that.
Yeah, Bon said that. And so they're like family. And so the end of the episode basically is that they're gonna go on to face the Knockers. And along the and I'm sorry, they were going to do something, I forget.
No, we are forgetting something.
What?
Basically, Bond is like talking to Fushi.
Yeah.
And he was about to tell him
The secret, yeah.
Yeah, but something happened.
No, what happened is that the Knockers are coming. Where are the Knockers? They're gonna attack the Benedict Church.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Well, fuck, what do we do?" Like, "Well, we go protect them. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to fight the Knockers." And so Bon goes with Fushi, and he had asked Fushi a question as they were about to leave. They were like, "How would you feel if your friends were immortal? Would you love that?" And Fushi didn't get a chance to answer before they found out about the Knockers, but after, as they're about to leave, he tells Bon like, "I would love for them to be immortal just like me." And
basically, we talk about Kahaku's knocker starts going off.
Yeah, we're forgetting that for sure.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Yeah, he tried cutting off.
He tried to kill his knocker. The knocker grabs the dagger, and Kahaku was drunk, so he could numb the pain. And
and now the knocker is just communicating fully to Fushi.
Yeah.
And it says, "Hey, your creator's a piece of shit."
Basically, and they're
like he locked us up, and basically,
and they're like, "Well, what are you?" And they are Fushi. They are what Fushi is made out of. The Sid, the little tiny ball of life that created Fushi. That's them, basically.
But the thing is, like, they have no physical body. They cannot make a physical body. So basically, their plan is death. Like,
everyone needs to die for you to find your salvation.
So basically, and now
even the creator didn't know this. Even the creator didn't know this. Creator was like, "I suspected this, but I didn't anticipate this."
He recognized a name that they mentioned.
Yeah, Sid.
Sen?
Sid, the Sen, which is the ball of life.
Yeah,
that Fushi is made out of.
Yeah, and now it's big. And now he talks to Fushi like after this, saying like, "Do you want to do this?" And Fushi's like, "Now I know if I'm dead, they're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
If I hide away, they're gonna do it no matter what."
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to stop the knockers. But yeah, very nice stuff. I can't wait.
Very good episode. I can't wait for it to continue. It definitely picked up. It was like 5, 3, 4.5 now. Or it was actually 4, 3, 5 now. Like these last episodes. If you were to break down.
Again, it was a slow build. But if it keeps going now, like now we know what we're dealing with, I think we're gonna be in for a ride.
Yeah, we're gonna be in for a big ride.
I can't wait. All righty. The ending of part 1 of the Eminence and Shadow.
Not like anything else throughout the season.
It went full on fan service.
Big time.
Basically, yeah, we only got to talk about the one episode. Yeah, it was a cool down episode.
It was very much a cool down episode. We basically see old girl wants lingerie to seduce, and he fucking lost connection again. You son of a bitch. Anyway, we see the girl. I forget her name. Let's look up the name now while we wait for Sean. Oops, I removed you on accident. My bad.
Yeah. But basically, before that though, who is the slime girl? Espelin? Or is it Delta?
Slime girl? They're all slime girls.
They use the slime.
Oh, I think it's Epsilon.
Yeah, Epsilon. Yeah, she uses slime to enhance herself, like the boobs, yes. They're all jiggling. They're all jiggling in front of you.
Yep.
And then she talks to who she talked to.
Delta.
She talks to Delta like, puff out, arms crossed, good morning. Like, and you see the good morning on
and
the
he's like,
chest.
have you noticed that that Shadow Sama's glare is coming towards me a lot lately? I wonder why. Boing,
Yeah,
boing.
Yeah, she's like really jiggling around. And one of them's like, hey, no, just ignore her type of thing.
Yep.
And then we get to the other side with the fucking, who was it? What's her name again? Alexa? And
Yeah.
Iris doing the lingerie shopping with her
Yeah.
sister. And he's like, oh, what's this? It's a thong. Like, I need this. It'll make my butt look good, damn it. And like pulls the sister in the dress. Like, come with me, damn it. I'm going to scold you. I'm going to scold my own HI. Like, I want Sid to fuck me in this phone.
Basically.
You ain't stopping me.
Basically. And she ended up being all seductive. Ni-chan.
I was like, what happened? What did I watch? Like,
what in the incest is happening?
No, like in general, it's like everything that we had was like, it's a new show. It's just, for that 1 minute, for that half the episode.
You know what this felt like? It felt like episode 9 was the finale of the first part, and episode 10 was like an OVA.
Right.
That's what it felt like.
And during all this, Sid is quote unquote alive in the schools.
Yep.
But bandaged up. And who was it that's with her? Rose or
the best swords person in the school.
Yeah, Rose. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She likes visiting, like, oh, you did this for me, like you love me, type of thing. He's like,
I love you.
I'm dead.
And he's like, fuck.
Yeah, and then now,
and we find out she's a religious fanatic.
Yeah, and they coincidentally met on the train.
Yep.
I think was it for a school trip, this thing?
Yeah, it's disguised as a school trip. Basically, Sid is gonna go as part of a school trip, but in reality, it's to fucking fight these bad guys that are holed up in the fucking
meeting up the crew, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like talking to all this, like trying, like, so bored, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and you just like, fuck, why am I in this?
And when they get there, they go to they meet the writer, like the one disguised as the writer.
You forgot she wanted to try and fuck him too.
Yes, and he slept on the ceiling.
Yeah, he tried to sneak in.
Yeah, pretty much. And is Beta the author of the books or? No, it is Beta. I'm looking at it. It's Beta.
Yeah, it's Beta.
Yeah, basically, she's having a book signing type of thing, and then he's reading these titles like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And then Eminence and Shadow. Like, what kind of plagiarism bullshit is this?
Yeah, fucking my Red Riding Hood shit.
Yeah, and all that lovey-dovey shit's gone for now, and basically we get to nighttime. It's his specialty.
Mm-hmm.
He meets up with these hooligans, these heathens.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Espelon comes in, helps out. While she's assisting, the boo bitches.
Yep.
And then he's not paying attention to it. But she's trying to make sure that he does, and then when she finally goes away, she's like, huh, so she's the last slime. Like, I should tell her she doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was part 1.
And part 2 happened today, when we'll catch you up on that next week.
Yeah, first the schedule was, it's going to be in January. Oh, never mind. Not bad. Not bad, though.
We're down to our final 4.
No.
What do we miss?
Well, 1, 2, 3. We are 4. Sorry.
Yeah, we said
Maid War.
Oh, that's 5.
Then what are we missing? We got Maid War,
Hero,
Chainsaw, and Bleach.
Bleach and Chainsaw.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to do Maid War before, but now we're doing Maid War because this one was really fucking good.
Yeah.
But basically, it's the maid cafe is busy as hell now because they won the thing when they weren't supposed to.
Right.
And they see Ranko.
We skipped over, by the way. We skipped over that whole fucking episode.
No, we did. We talked about that.
I don't recall.
We did. We definitely talked about that because we recorded.
Oh yeah, we recorded that night.
Yeah.
That night. It was cringe as fuck. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So that's what I said. Yeah. So Ranko's talking to Suhiro.
Yeah.
the guy that's always visiting Ranko.
Yep.
They're basically hitting it off type of thing.
Yep.
Nagomi's like watching the far, like mates really can't fall in love. So what should I do here?
Yep.
And Ranko goes by the kids like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Like, nothing. Like, so, like, oh yeah, he asked me out on
Dato.
Dato. So they're like, oh yeah, all this all type of thing. Like they want to help her.
Yeah.
And this panda is played a lot here, and you just see this panda glaring at Ranko,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know why. And it got to the point where this panda was like blocking the door to make sure Ranko doesn't leave, type of thing.
Yep.
Like creeping up next to her in the elevator.
Yep. And then tried to talk to her, like,
Yep.
elevator door shuts.
And yeah, Ranko goes to her date. Lovely dress.
Beautiful. Which
Like,
is
they're all
her face's dress.
Yep. And yeah, like you see the date play out. It's all nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Suhiro is also a hitman for Nagi.
Yep.
And Nagi wants him to kill her.
Kill Ranko.
Yeah, kill Ranko.
Mm-hmm.
And but that doesn't get mentioned or anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's talking to Ranko and he's like, I'm leaving this town.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving tomorrow and I want you to come with me. Like he's talking about how much he actually loves her and all this.
Yep.
And Ranko's like, I don't know, and all this, and he pulled her in for a kiss.
Yep.
And in my head, it was like, "This is gonna go away." I know it is, and I don't like it. I was wrong, thankfully. Ish. I was like, please don't be this. Please don't be this.
Yeah.
And he left, and then you see the panda there, and she starts talking.
Yep. And we get the story of the panda.
And she takes the mask, takes the head off
after the story. But you gotta go into the story. The story is basically there was a girl.
What we saw in it was a girl. She was kind of like Nagomi, like she wants to be a maid.
Yep.
Like she had big dreams of being the maid cafe, but treated like dirt. Did all did the awful chores, the ones that no one likes.
Yep.
And met someone, and he met Sahira. She met Sahira. And they got to the point where, like, basically, if you want out of this, like, you gotta do this job type of thing.
Yeah.
And we get to what happened in the first episode.
Yep.
This maid killed Ranko's head maid.
Senpai,
Yep.
Or sensei.
Right?
Sensei.
Yeah. And I got to the point where she freaked out, ran away.
Yep.
And she was like hiding, like in this like, little corner. And it got to and
when it happened to be a panda festival, and she's like,
"Yeah,
I'd love to be a panda," and so she became a panda. That way, no one found her, and slowly but surely, like no one would recognize her, no one would hire her,
and the maid cafe she did work in was closed down till they did it. That Winky Doinky, and so she just latched onto that.
Yep.
And you see the taking the helmet off and. Yeah,
it's the maid that killed her.
Okachimachi,
Yep.
And she's like expected Ranko to kill her type of thing.
And so the episode cuts, I guess when if there was a commercial break, you hear a gunshot and we think, oh, she did the deed. When we return
and she's like, I'll let you see her yourself type of thing.
Yeah.
And it turns out that wasn't the case. Basically, she just shot the head of the panda outfit.
Yep.
It's like she wouldn't want me to do this.
Yep. And so she goes back. She packs up her stuff. She waits for.
Well, first, she's like, like they know she's like leaving Nagomi. He's like trying not to cry.
Yep.
And then 9:00 comes. He's waiting the thing, and then but we get a phone call with Suhiro. Saying, I'll handle it my own way. And then you hear a shot.
Yep.
And then it's basically he got shot.
No, yeah.
They don't show you who did it and all that
Yep.
yet.
And so Ronco's waiting. She ends up leaving. Like I think it was like 11 o'clock or 11:30. She leaves.
Yeah, and
drops
then
the ticket, returns home.
she's yelling at the panda, like, well, you know all this, like, oh, now you're not saying anything, type of thing.
Yeah, and so what's it called?
Then we get the credit.
We get the after credit, and no, it's not that. Yeah. And sorry, yeah, it is.
And then we get to what happened with Suhiro. He's telling Nagi that I'm not killing her.
I love her, and I'm gonna do things my way. And he's like, "You're turning against the group." I'm like, "That's fine. I'm gonna do things my way." Hangs up. He pulls out, and we think it's gonna be a gun. No,
but we don't see it yet until after the panda. She's there.
Yeah.
Shoots him, and it was an engagement ring that he was about to pull out.
Yep.
And then all I have was like, no.
Yeah. And Ronco fucking gets pissed off. Like, I can't believe you did this. And then the maid is like, the order.
And basically, yeah, it's Nagi's fault. So
Nagi.
basically, she's hot. Ronco is looking for blood, but what we don't know is what the panda Suhiro talked about before he died. Because they said like this. Because she said, "Let's."
Oh yeah. Let's have
it. So we don't know what they talked about. I'm sure we'll find out either next episode or the finale.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Fantastic stuff.
This is close to a 5.
Yes. All right.
Final
Let's go with Bleach.
Oh, you want to say Hero? Okay, we'll go Bleach. Bleach has been off the fucking chain.
Yes.
Off the chain.
Well, before that, did we talk? Yeah, we talked about the squad. We didn't talk about the healing part yet.
No, we didn't talk about the healing part.
All right, so basically, we're getting a bit of a cool down in terms of like everything that happened.
Yep, yeah, episode 8.
Okay, everything that happened, basically, we need a breather, basically.
Yeah.
So now we're like in the healing type episode with Ichigo and Renji.
And Byakuya.
Yes. But they're not, he's not really in this mostly. It's mostly Ichigo.
No, yeah, because he's so fucked up.
Oh yeah, he's like near death basically still.
Yeah.
So basically, this half is basically Renji and Ichigo recuperating. They do the bath thing.
Yeah.
And then they go to eat up.
Yeah.
And basically, you get the fat lady who made all that delicious. She was like, "God damn, I would eat that."
Yeah. No, well, you're also forgetting. So after they heal up, they send Aburai and Ichigo over to the food palace, and you see the captain soaking his hand in the water, and they're like, "That damn Ichigo."
All right.
He instinctively blocked my punch, anticipating it, and he fractured my wrist.
He took the hit. He took the hit.
No,
he punched him.
No, Renji took the hit. Renji took the full blow, and then Ichigo deflected it.
Oh, I thought like he took it like in the chest, but he didn't like move.
It was that freaking. He punched him with the same hand, but he realized it broke because of Ichigo, because Ichigo instinctively parried it, so he didn't get hit as hard.
Right.
And found out, like, he's like, "Oh, that kid is special." He's like, "That kid is real special." So they send him over to the food palace. They eat, and as they're going to go over to the Zanpakuto,
and then Ichigo's like, should we be doing this? Like, people are dying and we're just lounging. And Randy like, no, like, we were hurt, we were injured in battle. We have the bath to relax our muscles. We have an appetite. We gotta eat. We gotta regain our strength because we know we're gonna have a shit ton of intense training. We're done eating.
AKA Dragon Ball Z.
It's a shonen concept. It's
Dragon Ball Z. And so at the end, as they're gonna go to the Zanpakuto house, the food queen is basically saying like, "Hey, by the way, that food that you ate was imbued with like really rich and special spiritual pressure, and basically we're gonna enhance you through foreign spiritual pressure mixing with your real spiritual pressure, and it should help you in your battle." Which is like, oh, that's pretty cool. And we also see the fat lady become skinny because she uses her spiritual pressure to cook.
She makes the food with the spiritual stuff, and that makes her thin. So
makes her thin, and she's hot as fuck.
I was like, what the fuck?
Hot MILF.
Now let's get to the Soul Society side of this.
Yes,
it's about fucking Kenpachi thing.
No, we can't go there yet. We have to go with first off, Kurako is named head captain. And as his first act, he's like, we're gonna teach Kenpachi to get stronger. There's a term for it, but it's not
They,
the
they,
accurate
they
term.
basically like learn a certain style, and they're like,
Yeah. And they were like,
if he does this, we're fucked, basically.
yeah, you know how much we begged what's it called, the Yamato Taicho to not teach him this, and basically he did like 1 day of kendo or something, 1 day of aikido or something, and fucking he's like, nope, can't do it, he's too fucking OP, nope. And so they're like,
basically he could overrule them if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's like, no one can
it was
stop him
that
if he rampages. And he's like, well, the reality of it is he's a key asset and we need him to get stronger. And so we're gonna use Unohana Taicho to teach him this power. Oh, I shouldn't say Unohana Taicho, I should say Kenpachi Unohana.
Yes, I like
and we
that.
find out she's the very first original Kenpachi over 1,000 years ago.
Goddamn. And then basically they're in this training room, and it's one has to die. They can go to this place because they can go all out.
Yes.
And only one person is coming out
because it's a battle between Kenpachis. And
the
rule can only be one. It can only be one. And then we get a really awesome backstory of how Unohana got the scar on her chest and how Kenpachi got the scar on his face. And we find out that when Unohana was Kenpachi, she went to the Rukon district, and behind her is a mountain, a complete mountain of bodies. And they're like, we can't find anybody to satisfy your quench of battle. And they're like, look at all these bodies. This is what you are. And she's like, I didn't make these bodies. And out from the bodies comes, what was he, like 10? 8
yeah, a young
baby
Zaraki,
Yep, a young Zaraki, and he's got his sword still not chipped and fucked up, and we get a battle between them, and it's a very close battle. He stabs Unohana fucks him up too, and eventually
but she didn't have like fear in her face. It was like excitement, like
he almost killed her. But then when and this is the key, we find out in the next episode. We can spoil it now, at least, because it's part of the overall.
We're basically going back and forth for this.
We're back and forth, yeah, because we basically, the second half of this episode, the second half of episode 9 is the fight, and the first half of episode 10 is the finale. So as this bridge happens, we basically find out the entire purpose of the fight is basically, as they were fighting when they were younger, Kenpachi held back because he's like, for the first time in my life, I found someone who is my equal. And from Kenpachi's side, he's like, Unohana was the first person to make me feel fear, and he respected that and wanted to hold that for so long, as Matt lost his connection again, but he wanted to hold that onto that feeling for so long that he ended up holding back. He ended up holding himself back, and he ended up letting Unohana beat him. And Unohana, for many years, didn't understand why, but she's like, oh, this is the guy who's going to inherit the Kenpachi title, and so he brings him on as a Soul Reaper. But as the battle draws on, we see Kenpachi blacking in and out. Like, why is he blacking in and out? And as the fight is happening, we hear from Unohana's side, she's like, I'm going to break the chains that are holding you back, that fear of my death. I'm going to break those chains. I'm going to kill you over and over and over, and revive you over and over and over. The blackout,
but every time that happens, he unlocks something in him.
Yeah, he does. And so he's breaking those chains. And so as the battle gets more intense, Unohana breaks out her Bankai. And it is a sinister looking Bankai.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh,
sinister looking Bankai. She cuts her own hand and basically fills her entire Zanpakuto with her blood, and around her is a sea of blood. And this blood basically allows her to be like ultimate fucking regen healer / fucking ultimate blood slasher. It's fucking crazy. And they keep fighting. But again, Kenpachi, as he fights and he gets these near-death experiences, he gets better and better and better and better. He finally slashes Unohana, and Unohana's like, this is what it feels like to die. Like, this feels great. I'm so happy Kenpachi is the one to kill me. Like, Kenpachi, you're free of your chains. And Kenpachi very briefly is upset at the fact that he had to kill her.
Like, who am I going to fight now?
Who am I going to fight now? And as he's standing over her body, he hears a voice. and he's like, Zaraki Kenpachi, and he's like, who's there? And the voice says, the one person that's been with you the entire time, that's been watching you the whole time, that knows everything about you. And he turns over to find the voice, and the voice is coming from his Zanpakuto. After hundreds of years, and the claim that he doesn't know his Zanpakuto, doesn't have any connection to his Zanpakuto,
And now he has it.
he unlocked the voice, he unlocked the soul within his Zanpakuto. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was thinking to myself, I was like, is he going to inherit her Bankai? Because if he inherits her Bankai, they don't inherit Bankais generally. So he's going to get his own Bankai.
No.
That Bankai is going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, but now we know that's going to
You know what I'm hoping? Because I haven't read the manga. I'm hoping that Aizen breaks out, tries to fucking take over, and Zaraki and Ichigo with Zaraki's Bankai, they fucking kill him permanently. It's either that or I see fucking Aizen helping Soul Society.
I don't know. So I haven't read it. So
I haven't read it either. But yeah, holy shit. But that's not the end of Bleach. Because
no, that was happening. Yeah, that would go back to the other guys.
Yep, he goes over to the Zanpakuto kingdom, and the Zanpakuto kingdom is Nimaya. Nimaya is I don't know how to say his first name, but he's basically a black soul reaper. He speaks broken Japanese. It's full Japanese, but he speaks in like an accent because he's not really Japanese. And we basically see like he is in a whole, you see them kind of in like an escort house, and everyone's like, oh my god, this is great, this is great, this is great. And they're like, you want to know why you're in an escort house? He's like, those are all Zanpakuto. Zanpakuto have feelings and emotions, and he throws them into a pit. Him and Renji both get thrown into a pit, and you see these soulless faces, and he's like, these are Zanpakuto. These are the souls of Zanpakuto. They're upset with you. They're angry with you. They're sad for you. And you see them crying and trying to fucking fight them. And he's like, basically, you're going to be in a death battle between all these souls of the Zanpakuto and yourselves. If you survive and a Zanpakuto picks you, you get a brand new sword, and we'll unlock it, and I'll fix it up for you, no problem. If you don't, you're shit out of luck. At the end of however undetermined amount of long time, Renji gets his Zanpakuto. Ichigo doesn't get his Zanpakuto.
Yep.
And so, cue credits. In an after credit, we see Ichigo trying to fight Nimaya, like, oh, you know, what am I gonna do? Like, I didn't come here just to quit, blah, 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 blah. And Nimaya is like, hey, the reality of it is you're not a soul reaper. You never were a soul reaper. You're just a human. And so no Zanpakuto is going to attach itself to a human because it's only for soul reapers. And Ichigo lunges at Nimaya, and Nimaya basically does like some pow pow thing with his fingers, and he sends Ichigo back home. And as he sends him back home, he says Ichigo's got to find his roots in order for him to potentially get a Zanpakuto. And he may never come back here, whether he does or he doesn't. He may never get that again, but he's got to figure that out first before he can ever think about stepping foot here again.
All right, so that'll be the last two episodes, and also the finale is a 1 hour.
1 hour.
So basically, the last two episodes are going to just be this one thing. So
no, it's going to be episode 11. I think it's 13 episodes, right?
Yeah, so 12 and 13 are going to be the altogether.
You think?
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be episode 11, episode 12, and then.
No, they're
going
to do 12 and 13.
Yeah, that makes sense what you're saying. That's what they did with last season with what show was that they did last season where they had back-to-backs?
Cuckoo?
Yeah.
They did have a Cuckoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, they say those are going to be the instead of the new year having it, because again they're Monday. That's like Christmas and New Year's and all this shit.
Yeah.
All right, co-main.
My hero.
Oh, we got the reveal of what we kind of suspected, but how they did it.
Fantastic.
I'm very happy how they did it.
Very. I am too, dude. I so am too.
Let's just get right to this. It's basically Shigaraki's body is not good right now.
It's on the brink of death.
Yeah, so basically he has to stop fighting. It got to the point where we had to retreat for right now.
Yes.
And of course the other heroes start coming, like the giants coming.
Yeah.
Like you basically get out basically.
Yep. We see Bakugo and Endeavor get sliced by the spinal quirk with the spines.
Shigaraki,
Yeah, and they want to get Midoriya. They want to get him, and they tell Midoriya like, "No, come on!" And Midoriya's like, "No, we have to finish this now." He goes to attack. Shigaraki, and Shigaraki touches him and begins
he's
the
like,
process
hey,
of the
yeah.
of the cork steel.
Yeah, and then we get so we're in the middle of it, like we're getting this in between thing.
The in between thing is they're in the one for all zone.
As I say, like the one side there's Deku.
Yeah,
and
they
there's
basically
Shigaraki.
they in a moment they both of them entered the one for all subconscious zone. And again, as Matt said, one side you see Deku can't move, and on the other side you see Shigaraki. And he's trying to lunge. What breaks out of him, Matt?
Which one?
All for One breaks out from him, and we get the story of All for One.
And then on the other side, first you see the grandmother.
Yeah, you see Tomura, and then you see the originator, the very first All for One. We find out that the original
One for All.
One for All. We find out the original One for All is the younger brother, Ototo, the younger brother of All for One. And we find out that that One for All, the original One for All, was very kind-hearted, very nice, and he wanted to stop his brother, but in the end, All for One killed him. And basically, they're trying to steal the quirk, and between Tomura and the original One for All, they're able to push him back, and Midoriya, with just his will alone, is able to stand up and is able to fight Shigaraki until they both break out of the subconscious. There's a giant explosion, and they both collapse to the ground. Shoto saves Midoriya, and the spines save what's his face? Shigaraki. And at that moment, as they're like, "Oh, we gotta retreat," we see the what's his face? Ilya. We see him and one of the other heroes come over. They attack Shigaraki. They've got him on the ropes. And Gigant Machia shows up.
Yep, right in the middle.
Grabs Shigaraki and is like, "Master, tell me his move." But Shigaraki's unconscious at this stage. And we'll get back to Gigant Machia
before that, because now we gotta get to Uraraka and Toga. Because we gotta take care of that first before everything else.
Yep.
But Ochako and Hibiko, they're having this little. Actually, well, Toga's having this little inner struggle with herself a little bit after.
Because they're like,
Twice died.
After Twice died, like, "Oh, heroes will kill us." Like, "Oh, will the heroes kill me? Will my favorite friends that are heroes kill me?"
So she wanted to know. So she wanted to know from Ochako, like, will you kill me, type of thing.
So she jumps off of Gigant Machia, manages to basically kill an old lady to steal her look, and drags Ochako into like this abandoned house, and they have a one-on-one struggle where they basically confirm, what's her face? Himeko's like, "You like Izuku, don't you? You like Midoriya, don't you? I like him too." She's like, "It's the same, two girls that like the same boy. We could have talked about love and romance, but here we are." And she asked the question to Ochako, like, "Would you kill me?" And Ochako's like, "I want to save as many people as possible. If you get in my way, then that is what it is." And so they have a battle, and she's about to die, and Sui comes over, saves her, and Himeko's like, "I got my answer," and she dips back over to try and catch up to Gigant Machia and leaves them.
And now we get to
the biggest reveal of them all.
Yes.
So again, the League of Villains, all the League of Villains are on Gigant Machia, and when Gigant Machia is trying to revive Shigaraki to get orders, we see Dabi pop up, and at the moment Dabi pops up, a broadcast, they hacked the satellite, the FGI satellite, which I laughed, FGI.
Yeah.
But they hacked the satellite, and a national broadcast broadcast around Japan. Yeah. And it's Dabi giving his life story to everybody.
Well, before that though, he actually took the water on his head to
he took water on his hair, and we find out
Endeavor and Shoto, they were like, "What?"
Yep, and we find out he is
he's the first. He's the first Todoroki.
He's the first Todoroki.
Son.
Yep, and we find out that he had more natural gifted power than fucking Endeavor, and that basically Endeavor, his entire goal, as we already knew, was to get half and half ice, half fire.
Yeah, but he had more fire. But he had a little bit of the white hair.
Yeah, because that's how they evolve over time, basically. And so Basically he died in some fire. We don't know how the fire happened, but he supposedly died in a fire. And Endeavor, for his part, he truly tried to look for his son. They couldn't find him. He couldn't find him. He assumed he was
But
dead.
he doesn't know that, yeah.
Meanwhile, Dabi's like, I am a Todoroki. I've killed over 30 people. And he basically exposes Endeavor's entire family fucking drama about how
And
he fucking
Hawks on top of it.
and exposes Hawks too. Hawks killed a hero to get close to us and basically shakes the entire foundation of heroes across Japan. And the episode ends basically with him saying, like, come on, father, let's talk together in hell. And he jumps at Todoroki and Endeavor. And Todoroki's like, he's coming, Dad. He's coming, Dad.
Endeavor does not want to fight.
Endeavor's stuck. He's shocked. He's heartbroken. He's not moving. His knees buckle slightly. He can't do a damn thing. Todoroki's screaming at his dad, move, let's do something.
Basically not now. Like, this is not the time.
Yeah, and fucking Dabi with his blue flames fucking pulls out the ultimate fucking move of Endeavor. Prominence burn. And the episode ends with everything burning.
Yeah, that was raw.
Fire. Pure fucking fire.
Yeah, I'm glad this was the right time for Dabi to reveal himself like that.
Perfect. Absolutely.
As I say, everyone knew, but again, that the blue flame threw people off, but now we get it like this.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you would have figured it out by now, Dad. That flame quirks are a dime a dozen. How would somebody get a flame quirk?
Yeah, like all of that happened. And that's the reactions of Shoto Endeavor. Their face to react like shock.
The reactions of their families. The reactions of their families too.
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone is shocked because they knew these secrets and they're being exposed on national television as they find their long lost dead brother is one of the baddest villains of the League of Villains.
Oh, and we find out Best Genius is alive. Yeah.
And we also find out at the end Best Genius is alive.
Yeah, that's the one Hawks allegedly killed.
Yep.
Motherfucker. Great stuff. I love this.
Fantastic. It's going to be a 5. Unless they royally fuck this up, it's going to be a 5.
Yeah. It's qualified for next year, but still, we're still going to give it all the props till then.
Well, I mean, it should still count for, and no, it can't count for anime in the season because it's on a continual.
Yeah, it's carrying over in the year.
Will it win anime next year? Considering all the ones that are coming out next year, ooh, that's the key.
I think it will still be on our list
for
sure.
season. I'm sorry, for the winter season.
I don't see why not. Unless it drips somehow.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Hopefully not.
But with everything we got, it could still be on there. Still, I think it still has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go with our main event.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man.
Crazy.
We fuck. We picked up where we left off with Himeno vanishing.
Mm-hmm.
And but we see a ghost hand.
Yep.
This was her last.
The last act of the ghost was to find Renji. Denji. I don't know if they Renji.
Yeah, and pull
the chain. And we get a decent fight between the samurai devil and the chainsaw devil until
until there's basically the katana demon held someone hostage.
Yep.
Even though it was someone from the crew.
No, it wasn't a katana. It was Denji. Denji held the guy hostage. He's like, "This is your friend? You want him to live?" And he's like, "God damn it!"
Yeah,
and the fucking guy savagely cuts both of them in half.
Yep, and now
in half.
And now Denji's after that.
And we lose connection. And Denji's out for the count, as Matt said. Meanwhile, while Denji's out for the count, they're trying to get his body. They're like, quickly, let's get his body over. Let's move on. And we see as well, while this is happening, that Makima is not dead.
Yeah, you see her like bloody standing up for the people that shot her.
Yep.
And then we don't see what happens yet.
Nope, we just see the train arriving in Kyoto. There's 2 stations there letting her know that we've been attacked. They're like, hey, there's bodies on the train. And they're like,
they're like, okay, like, are you okay? It's like, but did you get shot? Like,
my blood.
No, I didn't. Like, no, I didn't. Like, I didn't get shot.
Yeah, I didn't get shot. This isn't my blood.
and went to basically she's talking to them, and it's like, okay, I need 30 inmates that have a life sentence,
or worse.
or worse, and then I need a shrine up in this high area, basically.
Book the shrine, and so we get
anything else, and a change of clothes.
yeah,
and then
so we see a ritual sacrifice.
Well, before that though, we don't know that yet. It's just basically now the crew's taking Genji's body.
You knew you could put two and two fucking together, and you knew.
I was saying, but we got to build it. We got to build it.
Oh god damn it! All right, so they're trying to struggle. They're trying to struggle to bring him in, and all of a sudden the guy
you see a bunch of ravens.
Huh?
Well, first you see a bunch of ravens.
Yeah, crows.
There. Yeah, and then they're like, and one of them starts feeling funny.
He's like, I don't feel good, and
then
he spontaneously explodes, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then the girl knew.
Yeah, we see Makima. He's like, say this name, so and so name. Spontaneous combustion. Say this person, and she's doing these hand movements as she's doing it. Basically, she's killing them.
She's twisting their bodies like inside out
until they explode. Until they explode.
And this is just a fraction of what she can do.
Yeah, because she has many contracts with many devils.
Yep, and all this going on one by one by one, and then she stops. Like she didn't kill the Katama demon or the main girl that was with him. But during that, as they're about to leave, they see Kobeni.
And Kobeni is angry and heartbroken because her partner is dead.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, are you guys the ones that did the shooting? And she had, and we find, and first the snake demon comes out, and then Kobeni just
rides that motherfucker.
Yeah, like fast reflexes. Like she's about to.
Yep. And we get a flashback of after her partner's been shot. She basically fucking uses her fast reflexes, kills the fucking guy by fucking turning
like this whole like seeing her partner doing this triggered something in her.
Yeah.
Into this state.
When her back is against the wall, she can fucking go.
And it's like, oh man, all the people that hate her for just being this useless, annoying person. Nope. That is not the case.
Yeah.
And that was so good. And then she like goes to Denji's half dead body, saying like, "I'm sorry for almost killing you," type of thing. But yeah, Makima fucking scary. That's all we got out of that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, super fucking scary. At the end of the episode, hold on, let me write this. Anyway,
now we get to the next episode.
No, well, you forget afterwards. They're like, all right, well, thank you. You can take the blindfolds off. Because they had blindfolds on. They just had blindfolds on so they can't see her power. And so at the end, they return back to the station, and we see that we see one of the reports. He's like, oh, thank God you're not dead. And he's like, oh, I'm here to report what everything that happened. And he's like, hey, all the special divisions, the remaining people from special divisions are going to be under your command. And here's my resignation letter. And people quit. And that he's like, oh, well, she's like, hey, did you predict this? And she's like, I can't tell people of the public what's going on anymore. Thank you for your service.
Yep.
And so the end episode, and then the next episode starts off, and we see Aki's recovered. And
then Denji and Power are there.
They're fighting, of course.
Yeah, because like, dude, you can't have the apples because you didn't fight. You ran away like a pussy.
Basically. And so he's like, hey, what happened to Himeno? And they're like, she's dead. And he's like,
and then he's like, a little bit of his humanity is just like,
yeah, Denji and Power, they're like, all right, we're gonna go, dude. See ya. And he's like, here's an apple. They had a thing of apples.
Yeah, and then he's like thinking to himself, like, if he died, would I be sad? Or Power?
No, you're forgetting. So while he's doing that, while basically you see a bit of Aki's humanity as well, Aki basically begins to break down and cry that he lost Himeno, and then he's about to smoke a cigarette, and then he breaks down.
Can't even smoke a cigarette.
Can't even smoke a cigarette. He breaks down. He also asks his sword, "How much time do I have left?" 2 years.
2 years.
He's got 2 years left to live because of the sword contract, and he begins to cry. Denji's like, "Fuck, I forgot my manga." Hears him crying, and then that's where you get his humanity. He's like, "Would I be sad if anybody died?" And he's like, "If Power died, nah. If Aki died." Nah. Now, Himeno was my first friend who wanted to be my friend and wanted to be cool with me. And he's like, damn. He's like, this is wild. He's like, would Makima die? Like, if Makima died, would I be sad? He's like, probably for 3 days, and then I'd be good again, enjoying life. And he's like, wow. He's like, I guess my more of my heart is missing than I thought. That was very
Yeah.
powerful. And so later on, we see two pieces. We basically get that there's a special like trainers from Kyoto that are here to try and help the business recover.
the same people that were in Makima last
Yeah.
episode.
Yep. And
I
so
forgot their names.
I don't think they're important at this stage, but basically they're here to do two things. Aki gets the two people from Kyoto, and they're like, hey, you know, if you can quit and you'll have 2 years left and you can enjoy your life for whatever time you have left, or you can, you know, resign yourself to continue to fight with us and you'll be in for more hell than you can possibly imagine.
And
And
then
Aki goes and he's like, Aki's like, well, he's like, the devil that killed my partner and killed my parents is still out there. Why the hell would I quit? They're like, all right, we'll see what the paperwork tomorrow. They come back, they take him to an underground bunker. And this is where we keep all the devils that we've kept alive. And they're walking past all these jail cells basically. And he's like, you're gonna make a commitment with this devil called the future devil. He's like, the last person that these like two people have contracts with this devil. One person, what did they say? I forget what one guy sacrificed. The other guy sacrificed both his eyesight, his taste, and his smell to be to have a contract with the future devil. He's like, lucky. Yeah. He's like, hopefully the future devil likes you and you can strike a bargain with him on what he takes from you.
Yeah, and he also cannot summon that fox demon anymore right now.
He can't summon the fox demon ever because the fox demon is pissed off because he ate too much of bad shit. So
and it got fucking wrecked in the process.
He got wrecked anyway, yeah. So he's like, yep, fox demon hates your ass. You'll never use him again. And so basically we get that. Meanwhile, Makima takes Power and Denji to the cemetery, and
we meet probably one of my favorite guys right now.
Yeah, he's so badass. We
see
Himeno Senpai, and he's like, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. He's like, do you want? He's like, are you guys sad? No. He's like, do you want revenge? Nah, that shit's too taxing.
So whose side are you on?
He's like, whose side are you on? He's like, whatever side makes me happy. And then Power is like, whatever side's winning. And then he's like, good, you pass. And they're like, huh? And they're like, he's like, you guys are a rare breed. He's like, I'm gonna whip you guys into shape. He's like, you guys are people that he's like, you guys continuously get your ass kicked. And so when you're done with me, you're gonna be top-notch motherfuckers, basically.
Yeah, he even said like, you guys can be full-fledged badasses when I'm done with you.
And he gives them a hug and proceeds to break their necks with the hug. And they're all like convulsing because their necks are broken, they can't move. And he's like, the best part of training you guys is you're built like us, but you're not like us. And he pulls out a bag of A positive blood and pours it in their mouths. He's like, all you need is a little bit of blood and you're right back to normal. And they proceed to have training with him the entire day into the night.
Yeah, and he just like stabs them over.
Yeah,
he's like, good. He's like, good. You're immortal.
Denji wakes up and he's like, how many at the end? He's like, I'm gonna go home and get some sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow at your house. And Denji wakes up from like almost like losing his fucking mind and like he goes insane briefly. Power beats the shit out of him, so he snaps out of it. And he asks Power, how many times did I die today? And he's like, you died at least over 20 times, but the times that you were dead, I was unconscious.
I also died.
I was unconscious, yeah. And they're like, holy shit. And they're like, we just got to put our brains together and we'll beat him. Yeah.
Oh, and they come up with, let me know how well that worked.
And they came up with a pretty good plan, except that they're amateurs and this guy is so fucking badass. He's like,
he's the best devil hunter.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm the best devil hunter there is. He's like, until you guys can beat me, he's like, I'm going to be hunting you.
Yeah, so basically, they have like, Power. She uses her blood feed to make like a lance for the door. No, just tilts his head back. Dip.
And he's like, blood lance straight to the head. They had more blood power or whatever, and they fucking used that.
There was explosions on top.
Yeah, it's coming down more spears down, and he's like, spears, and then Denji comes off from the top floor, and he gets kicked in the face, and Power loses fucking consciousness, and he's like, this is the best plan you came up with yet, but there's 2 flaws. 1, you didn't see my kick coming. 2, when Power uses too much blood without any replenishment, she becomes anemic and useless, and you see her just like convulsing because she's anemic on the floor. And he's like, this is the best attack though. He's like, I'm gonna go, and he drinks his alcohol, and he's like, I'm out of alcohol, I'm gonna go get drinks, you're good for the night. And then Denji gets up. He's like, "Oh, the old man said we're done today," and he eats a fucking knife to the fucking brain. And he's like, "Never trust what a devil or a devil hunter says."
Love him. Like, I fucking love him.
It was fucking badass. Absolutely fucking badass.
And of course, the VA sells it too.
Yeah, and then the OPs are really good. The OP for episode, I think it was 8 or 9, was so
9.
It was depressingly gorgeous. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
gorgeous.
we
My
get
favorite of the season.
Yep, and then this one was pretty good.
Yeah, all of them have been solid. The one I believe was episode 4 or 5. That was the best one up until episode 9 for me. But still, it depends on your taste at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot for everybody. We got 2 more of these.
Yep.
I can't wait.
It's a 5. No way, it's not a 5. It's a 5.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a 5.
Closing thoughts before we get out of here. We'll be back for penultimate week.
3 hours. 3
We're
hours.
back to normal.
Yeah, we're back to normal. God damn it. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the show.
We also had 2 episodes for some of these. So.
Yeah, for a lot of these. Yeah. I mean, dude, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. I mean, my final thoughts, Matt, are we're wrapping up one hell of a season. And, you know, my other thought...
Yep.
No, go ahead.
I said we got penultimate week next week. Some shows will be done next week.
For you?
Well, it depends on if we do watch stuff next Thursday.
Bro, the only show that's going to be done next week, according to my list, is
Maid War.
That's one show. You said some shows. That's one show.
Well, I said, I'll have 3 shows then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I have nothing closing next week.
I'll have do it yourself, sword, and Bibliophile done.
Yeah, next week will be fucking penultimate weeks for me. Yeah, I'm only gonna have Maid War basically by next week, and that's if we watch Maid War on Thursday.
That's if we watch it.
Yeah,
but we got a lot. We can't wait. We talked our cake. We're full of cake. Yeah, we're full, man. Follow me on Twitter at DamonPhoenix12. My cat's scratching the door, trying to get in.
Which one, Haru?
Yeah, Haru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hime's downstairs. But yeah, follow me on Twitter at DamonPhoenix12. Follow our Talk to Keki Twitter at Talk to Keki. We want to thank W2M Network and Chair Shot Radio for hosting us. We have a link tree on our Twitter where we find your local podcast. Audible, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, wherever you find us, just type in Talk to Keki, you'll find us. We'll pop up. We're like the first 2 pages of the Google search. We got plenty of downloads. We got our Cake Awards in 2 weeks.
We will have a special guest. Our special guest, Starman, will be joining us for those.
I thought for just a year.
Oh, is it just for a year?
Because I don't think he watched enough for fall.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so let's get a big for the year.
Go man.
But we got 2 weeks for that, and in 3 weeks we get our yearly awards with Starman.
Yes.
And we start the winter 23.
Another
Give
year.
me your plugs.
Another year with you, buddy. I love it.
I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. So give me your plugs so we can go out of here.
Follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow me on Instagram at podcast.senpai. You can follow my anime only Instagram at AI_anime24. You can follow us on our Talk to Keki Instagram at Talk to Keki, TALKTHEKEKI. That's Talk to Keki. Shout out to my boy Andy with the MMA for Marks podcast. Also available on W2M Network. That's MMA4 Marks. Again, as Matt said, all of our socials have link trees. Check us out. You'll be able to catch all of our personal endeavors as well as anything related to the show, as well as on my links. You'll be able to see the MMA for Mark's podcast stuff as well. And did you mention the Eat the Cake? Did you mention Eat the Cake? Follow us on Facebook at Eat the Cake. EATTHECAKE. Eat the Cake Anime. Let us know if you heard us on the show. Please let us know. Matt and I are admins. We will shout you out. We will gladly talk to you. We would love to hear from you guys. It's an open forum. 600 members. All of us are all loving, cool. We all love different animes. We got everything. If you want memes, we got memes. If you want old anime, we definitely have old anime because the majority of the motherfuckers in that show love old anime. You have Matt and I, as well as Starman on there that keep track of every other new anime that's out there. Any sort of forum you want to discuss anime related on there, please join us. Join our family. Let's send it home, buddy. Go home.
Alrighty. So then we'll see you guys next Thursday for our Christmas episode. Arigato, Natsufaku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!
Bye.
Welcome to